Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pramikhi Siddiqui. For all of those who probably not come across my name yet, I'm sure I've bored you quite a bit over the last couple of hours yesterday, but I am deeply grateful to see the attendance back here. Thank you for returning for day 2 of Social Business Day 2025. Before we move on, I just did want to acknowledge the amazing sessions that we've had yesterday. What a truly incredible day one. For the 15th Social Business Day, we have marked it by returning to Bangladesh after 8 long years, and what a great day one it has been. We began with a warmth, colorful, and rich performance from the students of our very own Grameen Caledonian College of Nursing, and we're extremely grateful that we could bring this showcase to the world. There are 37 countries who are being represented in this conference this year. Can we have a huge round of applause for that incredible representation? For all of those delegates who are here today, thank you for coming back, and obviously to all our local participants and esteemed speakers. As I've said before, that this year's theme is Social Business Day is the most efficient path to ensuring healthcare for all. And I really do hope you are enjoying this wonderful conference venue, the Shamaji Convention Center at Jirabo. We're deeply grateful for all the organizers, all the logistical staff, and everyone who's been keeping us fed, going, and connected. Thank you. Can I have a huge round of applause for all of them? On the opening session, as you recall from yesterday, we had Dr. Ismail Sergeldin, former Vice President of the World Bank and a lifelong friend of the Grameen and microfinance movement, who reminded us of a very important thing. Development happens when the poor become the developers of their own fate. This is what Professor Yunus has been propagating for the last 4 to 5 decades. And I'm glad that that message got through yesterday as well. We also got a chance to hear a very enlightening speech in Bengali, by the way, from Izomo San from Uglina, who effectively emphasized that there are 0 excuses required when you want to bring about change. Izumo-san exemplifies the idea, if you've got the commitment, if you've got the vision, you can make it work. We were, of course, joined by His Excellency, Professor Mohammad Yunus, the Chief Advisor to the Interim Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, who emphasized that healthcare must be a right, delivered through social business. It is not meant to be left merely to charity, nor should it be left to merely a commercial model. And we extend our greatest admiration and gratitude to His Excellency for gracing the occasion, and to all his support team, his security entourage, his personal office, and everyone who made it happen. You have our eternal gratitude. We were, of course, joined by Dr. Devi Shetty, all the way from India, who, by the way, was literally in the middle of surgeries. He stepped out of a surgery and actually addressed this conference. So Dr. Devi Shetty, as and when you get to watch this, you have our sincerest gratitude. We started off the main plenary session with the 3 Ds, transforming healthcare through demographic, democracy, and digitalization. Our sincerest thanks to Dr. Arman Ahmed Siddiqui, Group Chairman Mohammad Ashraf Al Hassan, and all the experts who spoke. And I hope you guys have been enjoying the marketplace. Can I get a hand up to everyone who's been to the marketplace so far? Can I see a show of hands? Wonderful. I'm so glad that you've been doing it. Remember, it's not only a showcase for you to just go and visit and see. We hope that you're supporting these businesses, particularly the Nobinuddoktas who are there, who've come all the way, who've made logistical arrangements, and they're actually showcasing their products. So if you're there, do take a bit of time to look at them and actually go and buy products from them. This encouragement will go a long way. We've also got a number of bookstores set up by Yunus Center, and we've got our very own Alex Counts, whose books are being sold there. Please do support those initiatives as well. In terms of the next plenary session which happened, which was Meet Your Everyday Heroes, that was completely inspiring. And I must admit, for all the years that we have had Social Business Day, the representation on stage that we had in terms of female leadership and male leadership was incredible. We have obviously had major launches yesterday. Shuki, the app, had its global launch. The ECH Alliance was announced as well. We had wonderful presentations from Grameen Konlan, Grameen Healthcare Services, and others. And that just shows what big traction the movement is getting. We've also had very good 8 panel sessions or breakaway sessions across. I know there were a few logistical challenges with a few of them, and we do apologize for that. But when we all went and visited those panel sessions, the vigor, the enthusiasm with which the discussions took place was wonderful. Please do note all the panel sessions which happened have actually been recorded. UNIS Center does preserve them, and at some point in time in future, should you need access to them, they will be provided to you. I will not bore you further. Stay well, rest well, stay connected, and I'll now hand it over to Faria, my co-MC, to take you through the first segment. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, welcome back to Day 2, and I hope you have a brilliant Day 2 as well. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful recap, and I hope we are all coming back with renewed energy for Day 2. Good morning once again. I am Farhia Tabassum Haq from YY Ventures, and to kick off Day 2 with purpose, I would like to introduce a great thought leader and a true eco-legend, Dr. David Takayoshi Suzuki, a grandfather, an award-winning scientist, environmental activist, and a broadcaster here today to broadcast a message of urgency and hope. Can we have a huge round of applause as we welcome him on the screen today to give us this message? Thank you.
Thank you. It's good to be here with you. It's an honor. It's been an honor for me to meet and hear Muhammad Yunus in Canada. Like millions around the world, I have admired him and the work he and the Grameen Bank have done to provide opportunity and hope for some of the poorest among us. He has truly inspired the world. I can only speak from my life spent in the global north, the richest nations that are the driving factor of global disruption. You see, we stand at an unprecedented moment in our entire history when humans have become so powerful, we are altering the physical, chemical, and biological properties of the planet on a geological scale. But we know so little about how the biosphere works that we are undermining the life support systems of the planet, the air, water, and soil. So now the very survival of our species is at risk. Every culture has its origin stories that explain who we are, how we got here, and where we are going. Now, science provides origin stories that go back beyond human memory and informs us that for 95% of human history, we were nomadic hunter-gatherers, carrying everything we owned on our backs, following animals on their migrations, searching for plants through the seasons. We knew we were utterly dependent on nature for our lives and well-being. This is called an ecocentric perspective, in which we understand that we are one strand in a web of relationships with air, water, soil, and food, sunlight, and all of the species of animals and plants that we call biodiversity. In a web, any action reverberates through the entire network, so each act carries responsibility. Through ceremony, we express our values and beliefs, and throughout the world, indigenous people express gratitude for nature's generosity and promise to act in a good way to ensure nature's continuing abundance and productivity. Reciprocity in our relationships, accepting nature's gifts while acknowledging responsibility is what is missing from most cultures today. Instead of seeing ourselves in a web, we have come to think that we are at the top of a pyramid with everything below for our use. This is an anthropocentric perspective where we are at the center of the action and everything revolves around us. But clever as we are, We don't know enough about the biosphere to avoid consequences of our actions. And so inadvertently, we are undermining the absolute necessities for life: clean air, pure water, rich soil and food, photosynthetic energy from the sun, and the diverse animals and plants that create, cleanse, and replenish these elements. The scientific evidence of human-induced climate change, for example, has been solid for decades. Yet, after 28 United Nations COP meetings to deal with the problems, we haven't even been able to cap gas emissions, greenhouse gas emissions. So now we cannot avoid catastrophic temperature rise. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has warned that continued increases in emissions are like digging our own graves. So the first thing to do is stop digging. Part of the reason we haven't been able to deal with big issues like climate change and species extinction is our move from agrarian villages to big cities. In big cities, our highest priority becomes our job or a way to earn money. And so the economy is elevated above all else. In Canada, we had a prime minister who for 10 years said trying to reduce the threat of climate change is crazy economics. And so to him, the economy was more important than the atmosphere that gives us air to breathe and creates weather, climate, and the seasons. Today, we urgently need global action on threats that confront all of humanity. Despite all the differences in gender, ethnicity, religion, culture, language, and social class that shape our priorities, we have to act together as members of the same species. That only seems to happen in science fiction movies when aliens from another galaxy attack Earth and begin indiscriminately killing human beings. Then right away, the President of the United States is talking to Russia, to India, to China, working together on a common threat. Well, today, the planet is under assault by an alien, not a creature from outer space, but an alien mindset, a way of seeing the world that has become globalized. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, when we harnessed machines to do work for us, we have felt we no longer have to pay attention to boundaries imposed by physics, chemistry, and biology. But the systems we have created to shape, guide, and constrain human beliefs, values, and behavior, namely legal, economic, and political systems, leave out the primary importance of the natural world. Our laws are about boundaries to land and property, but our borders pay little attention to the watersheds, to animal migration routes, or plant distribution within ecosystems. Recently, New Zealand, Ecuador, and Canada have granted rights of personhood to rivers. But what gives us that right in the first place? Every species has struggled to survive. So doesn't the fact of their continued existence, whether tree, bird, or mosquito, give them a right to continue? The economy limits our actions on the environment. But as UK economist Partha Dasgupta reports, the economy is not built on nature. Instead, it is constructed around human inventiveness and human productivity. The result, as Mark Carney pointed out in Values, Amazon, Jeff Bezos' huge company, is valued by the economy in the tens of billions. While Amazon, the rainforest, the greatest terrestrial ecosystem on the planet, has no economic value until it is logged, mined, dammed, or grows soy, cattle, or houses. That is crazy. In Canada, most people live in cities and tend to think nature is out there, away from them. Pure air, clean water, and rich soil are not made by human factories. They are cleansed, repaired, and replenished by nature. The air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat from the soil are the building blocks of our bodies. We cannot draw a line that separates us from air, water, or soil when they are us or we are them. Nature isn't just in our parks, it's all around us and in us. So whatever we do to air, water, and soil, we do directly to ourselves. I love the theme of your celebration, One Planet, from Sundarbans to the Amazon, because it recognizes the interconnectedness of everything. In 1986, when fire broke out in Chernobyl, Swedish scientists announced an accident because air doesn't stay within national boundaries. 6 months after the Fukushima reactor was flooded by a tsunami in 2011, radioactive debris washed up on British Columbia's coast because ocean currents flow where they must. All of life on Earth is powered by energy from the sun through photosynthesis. Earth's gifts, even those that are renewable, are finite, not limitless. Endless growth is the creed of cancer, while huge disparities in wealth accumulation prevent everyone from having enough. It is absolutely mystifying why multimillionaires and billionaires who have more than they could spend in many lifetimes want even more. Why are they even allowed to be so rich when more than half of the people in the world struggle in poverty? We have to learn to see the world and our fellow human beings through different eyes. And we have to remember, we are all animals, completely dependent on nature for our well-being. Johan Rockström has defined 9 planetary boundaries: the nitrogen cycle, available fresh water, carbon in the atmosphere, the pH of the oceans, and so on, within which all animals must live to be sustainable. We have now passed 7 of the 9 boundaries, and we only have 5 years to turn around and get out of the danger zone. Well, we've shown with climate change, we will not make those changes in time. So we must turn our efforts to our local communities and prepare for the chaos that is now unavoidable. Prolonged drought, heat domes, atmospheric rivers that will dump their load and cause massive flooding, forest fires, hurricanes, they will all become bigger, more severe, more frequent. I don't have any solutions. After 60 years of fighting environmental battles, I am convinced the only real change will come from grassroots groups working to ensure their communities are as self-sufficient, cooperative, and resilient as possible. Governments will not be able to respond to crises as quickly or on the scale that will be needed. And that's my message to you. We cannot avoid what's coming, although we've been warning about it for decades. And it's now the focus must be on local communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Suzuki. I must say that it was one of the most important addresses that we have had in recent times, simply emphasizing, and I must reiterate it, saying whatever do we do to our air, water, and mineral resources, and the earth in general impacts us. So the fact that we are here attending a conference, we have tried our very best to keep that in mind. Every consumption decision that we make in our lives is important, and I hope that all of us collectively take that away from the address that Dr. Suzuki has given. Could I please request you all once again to join hands in thanking Dr. Suzuki for this address. From Dr. Suzuki, we now move on to another very passionate supporter of social business, someone who's been connected with His Excellency, the Chief Advisor, Tamia, and all of us collectively for many years in the US. I do recall meeting her at least in 2 instances in 2 social business days. She's traveled to Bangladesh once. I'm talking about Dr. Vanessa Carey. We're honored to share this message from her. She's a globally respected physician, an educator, and a social entrepreneur from the US. She's the founder and CEO of Seed Global Health. This organization has trained over 17,000 doctors, mind you, including midwives. She's transformed healthcare systems across multiple countries. She's gone to the Harvard Medical School. Most importantly, she's continued to be a massive advocate for health equity, which embodies the spirit of social business. Could I please ask my team to play the audiovisual from Dr. Vanessa Carey?
Dear colleagues, friends, and leaders from around the world, I'm Dr. Vanessa Carey, founder and CEO of Seed Global Health, an organization committed to strengthening health systems by training skilled health workers. It is a true honor to join you for this milestone 15th Social Business Day, especially as we return to Bangladesh under the extraordinary leadership of Professor Muhammad Yunus. We are living in a moment of profound challenge for health, from the increasing impacts of climate change, conflict, and geopolitical chaos. Yet it is also an opportunity to rethink and differently realize access to quality healthcare for all. Around the world, we see the limits of fragmented short-term funding. We must build strong integrated systems with long-term investment, local leadership, and equity at the core, because health is the foundation of everything. Without strong health systems, economies falter, security weakens, and lives are lost. That is what Seed Global Health is committed to, and why I believe so deeply in the power of social business. Like you, we believe in sustainable transformative change, not charity. Social business shows us that with purpose, innovation, and partnership, we can build stronger, healthier, more resilient societies. This is our opportunity to build stronger and more resilient health systems, to work towards a new model that is integrated, country-led, and sustainable for the long term. To everyone gathered, thank you for your commitment, your creativity, and your courage. I wish you a truly and inspiring Social Business Day.
Thank you to Dr. Carey for that wonderful message, and I hope we all feel inspired to make a movement towards it. Next, I'd love to read a message that we have from a long-term friend, Shireen Ibadi, who is all the way from Iran. She's a Nobel Peace Laureate from 2003. She has given us a message in her local language, but I'd love to translate so that you can understand the message that she has sent for us. Access to free and universal healthcare is one of the fundamental pillars of democracy and in any society. And of course, this requires education at various levels. On the other hand, sometimes, due to lack of proper infrastructure, access to healthcare and medical centers can be somewhat difficult. For example, In remote areas far from urban centers, setting up a clinic or a maternity hospital is a good initiative, but is also very costly. And it might not be economically feasible for a community to establish such a facility. In such cases, it's necessary to provide basic training and resources to local midwives, using the experience they already have so that they can meet the needs of their community. There are various approaches, and I have just mentioned one example. In any case, the important issue is that national government policies should include this. Everyone must have access to free healthcare services. Wishing you success and sustainability and the best path ahead. Can we now play the message from Shirin Ibadi from Iran? Thank you. I hope you all enjoy this.
امکان دسترسی همگان برایگان به خدمات بهداشتی یکی از شاکله‌های اساسی دموکراسی در هر جامعه است و این امر البته مستلزم آموزش است در سطوح مختلف و از سوی دیگر گاهی از اوقات به خاطر نبود زیرساخت‌های مناسب امکان دسترسی به مراکز بهداشتی و درمانی گاهی اوقات کمی دشواره. به عنوان مثال در نقاط دورافتاده و دهاتی که خیلی دور از مرکز هستم امکان اینکه یک درمانگاه یا بیمارستان برای زایمان تهیه بشه کار خوبی است اما هزینه بره و ممکنه برای جامعه امکان تهیه این مسئله از جهت اقتصادی ممکن نباشه. در چنین حالتی
Ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a bit of context, Dr. Shirin Ibadi was approached by our team for this message, and we still wanted to ensure, even though it's been in her local Persian language, we say it, just to give you a bit of context. Dr. Shirin Ibadi has been a friend and associate of His Excellency Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus for many decades now, for almost 20, 30 years. Every time Professor Yunus has had a global movement, be it the vaccines for common good, be it the times that he's faced multiple challenges in this country, Shirin Ibadi has always stepped up, done her role of advocacy, put her signatures through, and she's been a great friend, not only to Professor Yunus, but the entire Grameen family. So can I please have a huge round of applause for Dr. Ibadi? Now, we actually move on to the first plenary session of the day. And I'm very glad things are moving fairly all right, fairly smooth. We just wanted to make sure that you get to enjoy each segment without feeling rushed. But because we have got so much going on today, we do appreciate your cooperation and patience as well. Up next is the third plenary session, which is One Planet from the Sundarbans to the Amazon. From the 3 zeros that we are working towards, it is very critical that we understand the importance of zero net carbon emissions. And I hope this plenary session will embody that. And in this session, we'll have environmental leaders, social entrepreneurs, social business entrepreneurs share powerful models which are there to protect our fragile ecosystem. The ecosystem in which we live, we breathe, and the ecosystem ultimately which we have to protect if we want to leave a better life for our next generation, not only for our children and grandchildren, but for many to come. This session will have a call to action, and hopefully the wisdom shared and the global innovations that have come and which will obviously be reflected on, you will be able to resonate and carry forward. Now, it gives me great pleasure to first call on stage the moderator of the session, Lisa Hieri, the co-CEO and shareholder of Yunus Social Innovation. Could we please have a huge round of applause for Lisa? Lisa has traveled all the way from Germany. She's recently joined the Social Innovation team. We welcome you to Bangladesh. Thank you, Lisa. Please take a seat. I'll now call upon all the rest of the speakers. We've got our very own Christina Yeager, the co-founder and managing director of Yunus Environment Hub. Christina, could we have a huge round of applause for Christina? Thank you, Christina. Every time we have this conference, you take the trouble of traveling all across the world to join us. Thank you so much for doing that. Next up, we've got Francisco Jose Vincente, the co-executive director of Yunus Negocios Social Business Brazil. Could we please have a huge round of applause for Francisco, who's traveled all the way from Brazil to join us. Thank you. That's super commitment, my friend. Thank you. Next up, we've got our local expert here, Syed Shafat Uddin Ahmed Tamal, who's a sustainable tourism educator, and he's a committee member from the Ministry of Education, Forest and Climate Change for conserving the environment. Thank you very much, Tamal. I hope you share the local perspective. Then up front, I've got my very good friend and a massive supporter of the social business movement. He's been around for many decades. Could I please request on stage Mr. Duncan Power, the CEO of Dana Asia Group. Duncan, all the way from Australia. Thank you, Duncan. And next up, we've got Caleb McKenzie, our very good friend who's come all the way to Thailand. He's been leading the movement from Thailand. A big shout out to him. He's the co-founder and managing director of Yunus Thailand. Caleb, onto stage, please. Thank you very much, Lisa. I hand over the session to you.
Good morning, everyone. Salam alaikum. Welcome to Plenary 3 of Social Business Day 2025 on one planet from the Sundarbans to the Amazon. I hope you're all doing well on this lovely Saturday morning, and I thought we could start the session on a bit of an energizing moment. So I will just ask the audience to turn around to the person behind you and just say a quick good morning. Can we all do that? Amazing. Now that we've settled in the room, I want to introduce you to our amazing speakers of this panel that I'm thrilled to be guiding this conversation with across continents, across ecosystems, and entrepreneurial imagination. On stage, we're actually bringing together social entrepreneurs, environmental leaders, and grassroots innovators that all share one mission: to protect fragile ecosystems by reimagining how we live with nature, not just off it. With me on stage are Christina Yeager, co-founder and managing director of the Yunus Environment Hub, Francisco Vicente, executive director of Yunus Social Business in Brazil, Syed Shafaduddin Ahmed Tomal, managing director of Market and Trans Limited, Duncan Power, founder and CEO of Dana Asia, and Callum McKenzie, co-founder and managing director of Yunus Thailand. Welcome on stage and a very happy good morning to you. Dear speakers, you know already that the session won't be a one-by-one panel, so I'll open with a question to every one of you, but I'd love for this to evolve into a dialogue. So if you have anything that resonates with you, that challenges you or connects with your work, feel free to always jump in and maybe add to what others are saying. So let's use this space to learn from each other as well as inform the audience. To start with and to ground us in place and purpose, please introduce yourselves by telling which was your most inspiring moment or person to come across to meet at this very Social Business Day this year, and to share which ecosystem you're most deeply connected to and what drives your work to protect and empower the communities who call it home. Let's start with you, Christina.
Thank you very much. At Yunus Environment Hub, we believe that social business is a very vital force for ecosystem regeneration because it combines environmental restoration with sustainable livelihoods. And we work across 3 different pillars. This is climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. On climate change, we are working with social businesses in regenerative agriculture in sustainable land management and renewable energy. So these initiatives focus and emphasize on carbon sequestration and on soil and water health. Closer. And while at the same time creating sustainable livelihoods. On the biodiversity loss theme, we work across very diverse ecosystems, from forests to wetlands to agroforestry landscapes. And these social businesses not only preserve wildlife habitats, but also create sustainable livelihoods from nature-based solutions and community stewardship. And in the area of pollution, the focus is on avoiding waste and chemical residue effluents that comes from air pollution, from plastic waste, from any chemical offspring. By working with social businesses in creating circular economy principles, working on sustainable production and consumption so that we are reducing the environmental harm before it's being created. And in that way, protecting both ecosystems and human health. So you see, like, our work basically spans across all the different ecosystems, and we see ourselves as a global bridge between the different local contexts.
Thank you so much, Christina. The world is your home. Wonderful statement. Would you also like to add what was your most inspiring moment at this conference so far?
Oh, good question. I think it's always meeting the local entrepreneurs and being inspired by the solutions they are developing. So many of them.
Thank you so much. Let's move on to you, Francisco. Would you want to share a few words about your most inspiring moment or encounter, and yourself, your organization, and the work in your local ecosystem?
Thank you, Lisa. I'll start with the most inspiring moment. I'm really touched by the talks that I'm having with students here in the conference. So yesterday I met some of them, and they came to me and to the Brazilian delegation that is here very curious about us, and also they played a very important role in the recent revolution here in Bangladesh. So I'm really inspired by this public, and I think there is a reason why Professor Yunus focused so much on this group. Oh, sorry. And much better? Okay. So I was saying that I'm really inspired by the students that are here, because they play a very big and important role, not only in the revolution that recently happened, but because they are very curious and interested about the conference. And as Lisa said, I'm the executive director of YSB Brazil. And what we do there, we use the power of social business to create a world of three zeros. And we do this in two ways. One is with social entrepreneurs. So we have a local fund that provide accessible loans with low interest rates and technical support to social entrepreneurs. And with corporates. So through social innovation, we develop together with these corporates acceleration programs, their own social business, and other topics of social innovation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and welcome on stage. Syed, you're up next. Bangladesh is your home country.
Yeah.
How do you feel about these 2 days? And could you introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, firstly, I'm very lucky to born here. I love my country. I mean, I've been working in the tourism industry for the last 17, 18 years. My concentration, basically inbound tourism. I take the foreigners around the country. So, and Sundarban is one of the places I've been working very closely for the last 17, 18 years. Once I've been there, first time in my life, it actually changed my lifestyle. It changed my lifestyle. It changed my thinking of the people, thinking of the local community. Like when I've been there in Sundarban first time, I realized that this is a place where I belong to, and I own Sundarban. It is my place. I own that because I've been very fortunate to put on the muds on my body, walking through the canals, seeing the sunrise, sunset, watching the barking deers, birds chirping in the morning. It is amazing. And I had shared a cup of tea with the fishermen, with the honey hunters, and the other people who were mostly dependent to the forest, living nearby the forest, and struggling every time, like the tiger conflict, tide changes, weather changes, storm, cyclones. Still, they're living beside the jungle, near to the jungle. So I realized that this is the place I shall work. Like, if I think or ask people who is the guardian of Sundarban, it is actually the local people. I'm fully with my friend Mr. David was talking about a while ago. We must we must understand the community, because without the community we cannot run further. And the community who lives beside the Sundarban forest, they are the guardian of the forest. We often say that Amazon and Sundarban are the lungs of the planet, right? So to me, Sundarban, the local community are the lung of the Sundarban, because they feed us, they take us to the forest, and not often we don't stay inside the jungle or nearby, but these are the people who are living nearby and they struggle every time. So protecting a forest, I think we should protect the community first, because these are the people. I mean, in Bangladesh perspective, June, July, August, these 3 months, we are not supposed to go inside the forest. It is restricted. Rest of the time we can visit. These 3 months, including the other months, these people are around the jungle. So we must take them seriously. And often we do, like in tourism, what we do, coming back to your second question, that is, we train the local people as tourist guide, eco guide, and we hire them to our tours to guide the tourist. And often we take the tourists to their villages so that they can get to see how they are living, how their life is. And we encourage the local villagers to make the local souvenirs so that tourists can buy. This is how they can, economically, they can grow themselves. And there are few community-based homestay near to the forest areas where people can stay also. So this is how we are encouraging them to build themselves economically sound and solvent. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Duncan, welcome on stage to you too, traveling all the way from Australia. Please tell us your most inspiring moment of the conference and a little bit about yourself and your work.
First of all, make this work. Oh, yeah. Hello? That's better. Salam alaikum. First of all, I'm very inspired to be back in Bangladesh for Social Business Day. It's been 8 years, and here we are again in Dhaka, and we're celebrating it with a lot of young people who have been involved with some very difficult tasks. July, August last year. And we can, coming in from abroad, we can only begin to appreciate what you've been through. So it's inspiring to be here. Very much it's inspiring to meet you all again. Many of you it's for multiple times, some from the first time. finally, I'm inspired by Dr. Suzuki's call to action, which is very relevant to us and our panel discussion this morning. So moving on to what we do at Dana Asia, we set up in 2011 with the task to alleviate poverty, to reduce unemployment, and at the same time, over the years, more and more the responsibility to look at the third element of the 3 zeros, zero net emissions. And out of that, I just want to give you a brief example of something we've done. Imagine a country of the size of the Philippines. The Philippines each day uses over 160 million single-use sachets. They're used, but sadly then discarded. The waterways around the river systems, right out into the South China Sea, and then out into the Pacific Ocean, are incredibly badly affected by the curse of single-use plastic. Bringing back to Dr. Suzuki's point, what do we do within the community to actually change that mindset? What we've decided to do at Dana Asia is support our partner, Grameen Philippines, to actually set up a green microfinance program. You know, the little community sari-sari stores or convenience stores, everyone is responsible for buying plastic from these stores, particularly in the poorer areas, and then they discard them. How about if there was no single-use plastic in these sari-sari stores? We're piloting an eco sari-sari store that reuses containers for the vinegars, for the rice, for the shampoos, for the coffees. So far, we've started with 31 eco sari-sari stores, set up with microfinance loans, and 2 social businesses we've set up, which act as wholesalers. This is to pilot the concept. But imagine if we could replace over time that 160 million sachets that are discarded into the environment. So far in 5 months, we've managed to eliminate the use of about 170,000 single-use plastic sachets just in our pilot. So that's a little bit of what we're trying to do to make a difference in the environment.
Thank you so much for your introduction. Welcome on stage. And we're moving on to Callum. Callum, you represent UNIS Thailand. What was your most inspiring moment of the conference, and can you tell us a little bit about your work?
Sure, thanks so much, and yeah, such an honor to be with everyone on the panel today. I think in terms of the most inspiring thing that I've seen over the last day or two is, well, firstly, it's just the reminder of the energy of when the social business family, the social business movement comes together. And then also the reminder of what's possible when you combine all the expertise, the energy, the innovation, and also the dedication as well. So this is basically why I come back every year as well, because I just end up leaving with such a spring in my step and a lot of business cards in my pocket and a lot of new projects off the back of this as well. So that's definitely the highlight for me this year and also every year. In terms of UNIS Thailand and what we do, so our job basically is to build a social business economy in Thailand where we're seeing more social businesses created to solve different social and environmental problems. And those who are at the bottom of the pyramid are enabled to lift themselves out of poverty through the power of entrepreneurship. But when you understand Thailand, and hopefully everyone in the audience, please come and visit us as well, you understand that a social business economy is completely dependent on having a sustainable environment, on having a planet for it to exist on. And in Thailand, we have both a lot of natural capital assets, but also a lot of climate risks as well. In terms of how we kind of approach this, we engage and educate people in social business and related topics. So we have a big zero waste and circular economy education program and campaign that we do. We support social entrepreneurs and micro entrepreneurs with financial and non-financial support. We also have to practice what we preach. So we also develop social businesses ourselves and as a venture building service for others. And then we also try to stimulate demand for social business and strengthen the sector through different research and innovation activities. And our work is basically split into kind of two areas. One is kind of our programs team, where we operate as a kind of a think and do tank. And then the other side is our ventures team, where we're basically building out social businesses as well. So I'll share some of the other examples of our projects as we go through the panel, but that's a quick overview of what we're up to in Thailand.
Thank you so much, Callum, and a big applause to our amazing speakers. Let's stay on high energy. Callum, you just said it. What gives you energy in your work, right? Let's maybe zoom in a little bit more on the parts of our work that give us the most energy. And I'll start with you, Christina. Maybe you talked about the world being your oyster as an organization, right? Maybe you could zoom in a little bit more and tell us what are some of the most promising ways social business can regenerate ecosystems while improving livelihoods, and anchor it in a concrete example from your work.
Sure. Maybe I pick one example that sort of covers almost all of the three pillars that I was mentioning before that we are working in: climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. One social business we work with in Kenya is producing organic fertilizers for the agriculture sector from agricultural waste. So they're using a waste product from biochar that is being provided to local farmers, helping to improve their local livelihoods and to help manage the soil health of those lands. It's enriched with biochar, with carbon that stays for a very long time in the earth, and it sequestrates water better, so it increases the yield of the farmers. So it has this triple benefit of using a waste product, increasing the yields and the income for the farmers, and also makes the harvesting the soil more resistant to climate resilience by strengthening the soil health. And the products that these farmers are producing is sunflower oil. And through the programs that they joined with us, we helped that social business to find a distribution channel on selling the sunflower oil, also in a way that prevents environmental damage. And we did this by setting up a reuse system it's in the local areas of Kenya, where in distribution centers and small shops, refill stations are being installed, where a customer comes with their own containers for purchasing and refilling the product there. It has also the additional benefit that customers can purchase the quantities that they can afford in that point of time. So again, it also has an additional social impact on the customer side.
Thank you. Francisco, you already referenced the Amazon, and we know that Social Business Brazil is very active in the area. The Amazon is often seen as a global concern, yet we all know the solutions must be local. So how is Social Business Brazil active in the area? What exactly do you do, and how do you collaborate with social businesses, with local communities to ensure environmental solutions?
Thank you, Lisa. I'm glad that you asked about the Amazon rainforest, because I spoke with many Bangladeshis, and Brazil is very famous here because of football. I've heard that in the World Cup, half of the population use the Brazilian shirt, and the other half use the Argentinian shirt. So since Brazil is not so good in football at this moment, I would prefer to talk about the Amazon rainforest. So the forest is huge. It covers half of the country. It's probably the size of Western Europe, so it's really big and plays a fundamental role in the climate balance of the planet. But for the forests to remain stand and alive, we need to look for the people who live there, like they said here. So who are the indigenous and the riverside populations? And this is why we created a program in Brazil called Zuni, together with two organizations that are here with me in the delegation, Somos and TRE, that provides low interest rates to these social entrepreneurs who live and protect the forests. So we provide the tools for them to flourish and to grow. And as a social entrepreneur, I love to be in the field and close to nature. And recently, I visited a community 1 hour and a half away by boat from Manaus. Manaus is a big city in the Amazon rainforest. And 20 years ago, this community, everyone there used to work with illegal extraction of wood. So they cut off the trees. And not because they're bad people, but because was the only economic activity that they had. And then some years ago, this area became a huge reserve, and they discovered the sustainable tourism. And now everybody there works with this. So some people, they have a local restaurant, others work as a guide, or handicraft, accommodation, boat transportation. Sorry. And the impact, now they earn twice the money that they used to earn with illegal extraction of wood, and they protect the forest. And with a job that is much more, has much more dignity. However, there was still missing one thing, and this was credit. And as Professor Yunus says, credit should be a basic human right, like education and housing. And this program that we did, it provides this. And imagine if you are a social entrepreneur living in a place like this. You don't have a bank. You don't have like an entrepreneurial ecosystem covering. And I spoke with the local association, and after 2 years of applications, they got a loan of 6% per month interest rate. This is almost 80% interest rate per year. And now our program is offering a loan of 1% per month, 12% per year, plus non-financial support, like mentoring, access to markets. And like this social business that we funded, we are funding many others in the Amazon rainforest, and almost 50 in the country. So I can say that loans can save the forest. The only thing is that we need to do it right.
Thank you so much. Syed, you already referenced Sunderban. With Sunderban Tour Operator, you have worked at the intersection of policy and practice. What lessons have you seen emerge from sustainable tourism that honor local ecosystems and elevate local communities? Could you go deeper into what you already introduced?
Yeah, certainly. We are actually still on the process of planning. So, but we have done our root level discussion and some homeworks, like the places which are vulnerable, including Sundarban. We have the Ramsar sites, some swamp forests, and the other areas where huge domestic people are going for tourism, leisure and holiday. So we are making a policy what a tourist can do and what are the checklists he cannot do. Like we are discouraging to use the single-use plastics and encouraging people must take a local eco guide to the places once they're moving around. Like we have the Lawachara rainforest. It is the highest rainfall takes every year in this place. And Sundarban, of course, there is a protocol. You must take a guide once you are entering the forest. Doesn't matter if you're traveling alone or traveling with a group, you must take a local guide. And the guide normally during the orientation, they describes what we are going to, which places and what we are offering to do, what are the things we cannot do, like tearing things into the river using single-use plastic. There is a place, I mean, it's a big forest. It's more than 11,000 square kilometers. It's crazy. So we have 6,017 square kilometer in our belt, and rest of the forest remains to India. So once we are getting into the forest, we tell the tourist these are the things you can do. So single-use plastic water bottle, we used to carry it with ourselves once we are going for, thank you, trekking. So nowadays it is stopped. We cannot take the single-use water bottle inside the forest. So this is one of the policies government has taken, but there are many things coming up in the next, like there are many single-use plastics like the chips, biscuit packets, and etc. We are not also allowing the tourists to get these packets inside the forest. In fact, we are going to sit with the vessel owners and the other tour operators. Once they are going to do the grocery for the next tour, they must do the grocery in such a way so that no single-use plastics are getting on board to the vessel. This is how we think it can be stopped using the single-use plastics. And social awareness is one of the key factors. Like we cannot always just push the tourists, you do this thing, you don't do these things. It has to come from your own heart. So once you tell the stories of the villagers or the about the Sundarban, like we survived many times from the cyclones. Sundarban saved us. These are the messages we must keep on passing to the people, especially to the kids. Like once any kids are on board to the vessel, we always ask our guide, you must tell little stories of the Sundarban to the kids. You must take care of the kids, especially because once he is back to his school, he can share among his friends. And this is how the social awareness must be going on. And to me, it's a never-ending process. Damage controlling is one thing, and social awareness is one thing. This is a never-ending process. We must do it till we live.
Thank you. Duncan, you already referenced to your work in the Philippines before. Dana Asia works to empower underserved communities through mainly entrepreneurship and education. Could you tell us, in your experience, what does it take to build trust and long-term impact with communities that are marginalized in global climate conversations, communities like in the Philippines?
Very good question. The trust comes with time. And in the situation with the Eco Sari Sari stores, then there has to be an economic value as well as the social and environmental value. For example, if I'm going to bring along my replacement for single-use plastic, my own container, to the convenience store, then is it going to cost me more? Is it going to cost me less? At the same time, I've got to change my mindset as a consumer. So what we found in the pilots is that 20% saving to the consumer from bringing your own containers with the basic 8 products that we've started with. So that already can create a trust. Okay, I can do it this way. I can remember to bring my container, and with that, I save 20%. For the store owner, they need an income. They're often dependent on the income from their convenience stores as part of the survival of their family. So are the consumers going to trust me to do it in a different way? What's the benefit for me, apart from, of course, the wider benefit of helping the environment? Simply put, they put 10% savings from those 31 stores on average over the first 5 months. So it's that 10% actually added to their sales, added to their margin, and adds to their profit margin. So they gain the benefit as well. So for the people, it's seeing the benefits economically, as well as just making that difference environmentally that's important.
Thank you, Duncan. Callum, let's move from trust into knowledge building. Yunus, Thailand is embedded in one of the world's most biodiverse regions as well. How are you integrating local knowledge and cultural values into your work on ecosystem-based social business? Do you have any specific stories to tell?
Sure. Thank you for such an interesting question as well. So, as I was mentioning before, Thailand is one of the most at-risk countries to the impacts of climate change, both extreme weather events, sea level rise. We have a lot of extreme rainfall, as well as heat waves that are happening as well. So this is one side of the coin, but as I also mentioned, we have all of this abundance of biodiversity and natural capital assets as well. So what we've done, we work in the south of Thailand, and we've been working in some coastal communities, and we've identified seaweed as this huge potential for both adapting local communities to the impacts of climate change, but also at the same time stopping and mitigating the impacts of climate change as well through absorbing CO2. And it wasn't us that kind of went there and said, oh, have you thought about seaweed? It's spending time with the communities and listening and learning, and them telling us about how obsessed they are with seaweed, but also about the potential it has as well. So how did we actually leverage this local knowledge as well, and what were some of the techniques we did? Well, first off, we identified some local best practice examples and some local entrepreneurs who are maybe slightly more advanced than the communities that we were working with. But then we said, we'll connect you with international best practice knowledge, and then you help us be a local champion on the ground. We've also hired all our staff are from the local area and live in the local area as well. So it's a fully embedded operations. So there's already high levels of social capital in there as well, and understanding. And then we've basically developed these kits, which make it very easy. They're home-based kits for people to become seaweed entrepreneurs. And this then also stops seaweed being taken from the local environment. They can grow it in a controlled system. And then also over time, seaweed can be put back and restore the local environment as well. So as you can see here, this is also helping them diversify through a new income stream away from conventional industries like fishing and shrimping, which is being highly impacted by the impacts of climate change, and also developing actually and strengthening the local culture for marine conservation and environmental conservation in the area too, through income generating entrepreneurial activities. And we've actually gone beyond this now as well. So we're now setting up seaweed schools as well to get young kids involved. This then also links with the points on sustainable tourism and ecotourism in the local area. So we'll be looking to develop seaweed tours in the future as well. We're also, so Champagne is a geographic identifier for the region of Champagne in France. So now we're working with the provincial area to have our seaweed as a geographic identifier for this province as well, as another reflection of this local value. And also we're involved in global policy development as well under the Climate Change Agreement and what's called the Global Seaweed Breakthrough. But we have local entrepreneurs who are on the advisory board for this global strategy as well. And we're using our work as a case study to inform global policy as well. So the way we're partnering and working with local communities and leveraging this local knowledge goes from business models to education and also policy development as well. And the key thing is, it's a one-team approach. We don't value international expertise over local expertise. We know that we have assets, and we also know that they have assets, and we have a very level playing field. We have a very consultative approach to this, and this basically enables us to bring some innovation, but we also get so much innovation and so much knowledge from them as well.
Thank you so much. We have now heard a lot about local and embedded initiatives, but we also all know that every ecosystem is unique, right? And part of all of our work is to scale impact, ideally globally. So I would like to ask all of you, what advice do you have for those looking to replicate or to adapt ecosystem-based entrepreneurship initiatives in a new context? How can that work in different geographies, different communities?
Thank you very much for that question. It's a very important one because we heard in the message from Professor Suzuki that we're really running out of time. So scaling of existing solutions is of utmost importance in order to catch up. And as you said, ecosystems are highly diverse and different in each local context, from a cultural, from an economic, a regulatory, and an environmental perspective. So the solutions must be deeply anchored in that local context, and scaling cannot happen only through replication, but through adaptation. Yeah? A model that works in one community cannot be easily translated into another. So you rather need to look at what are the principles, what are the methodologies that work in that one model that you can then translate in another context, and where the business model itself, the stakeholders, or how you generate revenues might look completely different. Another challenge in scaling social business solutions can be coming from different policy frameworks and administrative processes, especially if social businesses require government partnerships or regulatory approvals. So this is another factor that can slow down the work. Another one that I would like to mention is the discrepancy of the environment, of the urgency to create environmental impact, and the trust and the building the local partnerships that are required for creating sustainable impact that can slow down that process again, but which are really vital in order to ensure a sustainable impact. One example, since we were talking about the Amazon forest, there are different methods to reverse deforestation. You can do this through afforestation, where you're planting trees in a landscape where there was no forest before. You can do it across reforestation, where you are planting trees in a deforested area. And you can do it through restoration, where you are taking native seeds from that forest and replanting the entire ecosystem, not only trees, but also other plants and species. And obviously, the last version is the one that is the environmentally one that should have the highest priority. But the problem that we have is that we have lost the know-how of identifying native seeds in forests. And there are only very few indigenous communities, indigenous leaders who have that know-how. And so it requires a lot of time for building a local partnership with these groups on creating trust with them in order to collaborate. But again, in the end, social businesses, I think, is the only tool and the only way on how you can actually do that, and why it's so vital to scale these social business solutions.
Thank you, Christina. You referenced to methodology, policy making, the sense of urgency, trust building, and knowledge building. All those topics came up before, so it's closest to circle. Francisco, do you have anything to add from your perspective within Brazil?
Yeah, I gave an example of sustainable tourism, but we need to look for also other kinds of bioeconomy that has in the forest. So we also finance productive chains that keep the trees stand. For example, acai berries, cocoa. So there are many associations in Brazil that are doing that, and we need to provide them like a entrepreneurial ecosystem, so access to market, access to credit for them to thrive. And also use technology. So there is another company that we funded in Brazil that they use AI cameras to detect forest fires. So one of the main reasons of deforestation in Brazil is forest fires. So they can detect the forest fire happening like in 3 minutes and then act very fast to prevent that. And this company now, they are monitoring an area in Brazil that is the size of Scotland. So very big and in different ecosystems. So it's a kind of technology that you can replicate in other countries and in other ecosystems. So that's the kind of new solutions that we have to look for.
Thank you. Sticking to the uniqueness of ecosystems, could you maybe go deeper into how you think your work could scale globally to other areas?
Well, as I said, it's not a easy place to work. It's very difficult because, as I said, people living nearby, they are mostly not very educated. So we have to go through the social awareness process. This is number one. And coming back to the new social businesses, we have many boat owners, tour operators, and other private stakeholders. We can ask them to come under one umbrella so that they can do some CSRs, like buying things from the local villagers and collecting the plastics and recycle them. After that, you can earn some money and you can distribute to among the poor and the other peoples who are living nearby. And also the boat owners can do the groceries and hiring people from the local community so that can they develop themselves in such a way so that they don't need to go somewhere else. It is just in front of their door. And making small houses like the homestays. So people will be staying there and earning some money. This is one of the ways for social businesses, I guess.
Thank you. Duncan, let's build from replication to collaboration. Looking internationally, what kind of collaboration models are most urgently needed today and tomorrow to protect the ecosystems we all live in and to empower local change makers?
Very good question. I think for all of us in this room, we have our own collaborations to do. We have our own models to replicate and get better and perfect. And I think what's very vitally important for all of us is courage. It's simply courage. In the project in the Philippines, one of our Grameen Philippines board members said, Duncan, this will not work. It will work in the diplomatic zone. You can get the You can get the recycling done. You can get the people to bring their own containers. Won't work in the poorer areas. In our pilot, we proved them wrong. Of course, we've got a long way to go, but in the replications, the point is we have to have courage not to give up, and we have to try new things in order to be successful. Not everything will work, but if 75% of what we try works, our world will be a better place. Our environment is grossly at a tipping point. How do we encourage ourselves and our colleagues and our replication partners to have that same courage to succeed? We must. Thank you.
Thank you, Duncan. Callum, let's try and bridge from courage, collaboration, onto local wisdom and global innovation. You referenced knowledge a lot in your introduction. Across your different geographies, how do you balance community-driven knowledge with a globalized need for innovation and for new technologies?
Fantastic. Well, I think I would also reference a number of key points that some of the other panelists have raised up here, right? So I think Christina was talking about frameworks in development, but ensuring that they're adaptive as well. So this is one key thing, right, in terms of how do you link local to global, and then global back down to local as well. And also the bottom-up development of processes, standard operating procedures and frameworks as well, so that they're grounded, and then at the local level, then they can be brought to a higher level, which is then adaptive, and then they can be implemented again in other local areas as well. So this is kind of how we're looking at doing, and a lot of our work has been really on trying to refine these processes as well. And then also linking to what Duncan was saying about courage, it's also the courage to make your work open source as well, and to then share that with other people. So we're working with our seaweed, work with Negros Women's for Tomorrow Foundation in the Philippines. And on one side, they're sharing all their standard operating procedures and everything on their Grameen microfinance operations, as is Bangladesh, of course, as well, with us as we do that work. And we're sharing all our seaweed work and all the work investments we've done in developing standard operation procedures with them, and for anybody else who wants to replicate as well. And of course, this is sometimes a little bit counterintuitive as well, right? Because you put so much time and effort into this, and are other people going to run off and do it better than you? But then when you take a step back, that's also the point as well, right? And then I think the other side of it as well, which again, really the devil is in the detail from local to global, but how are you facilitating partnerships as well? And how are you facilitating this one team approach? So just by simply, for example, putting a local entrepreneur onto an advisory board, right? That's not enough in itself, right? You've got to then work and support and enable that process, right? If we're looking at bringing international experts into local communities as well, well, how is that actually translated into something useful? And how are we ensuring that local knowledge is translated also into something that other people around the world can actually use as well? So I think this is if I was to say a final word for people to remember as well, is that the art of translation is something highly, highly useful to enable local innovation to influence global innovation, and for local innovation to be shared globally around the world and influence other local communities elsewhere.
Thank you, Callum. We've now discussed a lot about the importance of knowledge, of trust, of courage in our work, but one thing that's probably just as important is patience. And I believe we all know that. We can be successful if we think one project, one forest, one ecosystem at a time. So I would like to invite all of you to please share in our closing round one message that you really, really want to convey to this audience today, one takeaway, one action they can support, or one mindset shift they can adopt to protect our planet more intentionally. What would that message be? And this time I'm going to start with you, Callum, to close.
Wow, yeah. Well, I was thinking about, since you mentioned patience as well, yeah, maybe a little bit philosophical, but it's all about having the internal patience as well to actually do this, because anything worthwhile doing is always going to have many failures. You always have many people who will be naysayers. People will not believe, like you were saying, Duncan, people will not believe that it's possible. And if you don't have that internal patience within yourself to kind of sometimes just say, I'm just going to power through, I'm just going to keep on going, it's going to take way longer than I thought it was going to, but it's worthwhile doing, then that's a superpower in itself. And I always look back at, you know, we're here because at the very beginning, Professor Yunus, you know, came up with this invention of Grameen and Grameen microfinance. But it was 5 years until it was even a registered entity in itself, right? So patience, I think, is a key thing, and having that strength to do that.
I think I agree. Patience must be balanced by the need for action. And I think in each of our work, if we see something that's wrong, we want to change it. We have to have patience and at the same time not give up and have the willpower to do it. The patience comes exactly because it's not easy, it's hard. Any change is hard. So we need patience. At the same time, we need tenacity. So those balance, I think we can succeed in our own work, in our own lives.
Adding with patience, only 3 things to do, another 3 things to do. One is make a partnership with the nature, be responsible, be sustainable. Thank you.
I learned many virtues from Professor Yunus, and patience is probably the one that I learned most. I've been 12 years working in the social business field already, so patience is something that I really believe. But at the same time, it needs to be bold because the planet cannot wait anymore. So that's why I move to action and be bold and have big dreams.
We have the 3 zero vision, and there we have the zero net carbon emissions principle. And I think it's very important that all of us, we practice this ourselves on an individual level, and that we become ambassadors for that in our communities, but also in our work. And that any social business or any other organization itself should really look at how we can become more sustainable from an environmental perspective, applying circular principles, which can be very easy just at looking how we can prevent waste and become more efficient with our natural resources, because they are finite.
Thank you all so much. Let's be patient, let's be bold, let's learn from one another. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable time with us today, and dear audience, for listening and following the conversation. Have a lovely day ahead.
Thank you very much, Lisa, and everyone else. Could we please ask you to come in front for a photo opportunity? Thank you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, could we give this entire plenary a huge round of applause? right. So Faria and I have been having a bit of a chat about what we could have done better. And the only thing is, we're talking about health and all of this. Now that she's so fit and healthy, and I've lost about 75
Trying.
kilos, we should be passing that on to you. So Faria, what do you think we should be doing now?
Well, we can't do what Dr. Shetty suggested, which is 10K steps right now. So
Right.
maybe we could start off with some light stretches.
That makes sense. All right. Okay.
Could we cue some fun music? I believe we have Happy on the line.
Can we play that happy music which was played for the Shuki launch yesterday? If you guys have that. If you don't, we'll just play the regular music. Can we have the Shuki music, please? If you guys can figure that out.
Maybe tone it down a little bit. We don't want to be that happy.
All right,
Just a little bit.
just a little bit, lighter,
Yeah.
a bit of a lighter volume.
And as we have that music queued up, could we request everyone to stand up a little
Everyone,
bit?
please stand up.
Yeah,
All right.
Stand up. Thank
straight
you.
up.
Good energy on that side. Great. We're all catching up.
There we go.
I
There
see
we go.
some folks still
Let's
sitting.
all stand up a
I
bit.
think healthcare is not their top priority.
All right. Okay. Let's cue the music. A little lighter volume, please. Can we have the music?
We're gonna do a follow me and then a follow Prometheus slide.
I'll probably be following just you then.
Can we get some waves? Maybe both hands. I can't use both hands, but. Alright, now let's shake our legs a little bit. Our legs,
All right,
come
we're
on,
getting
guys.
in the
Need
groove.
more energy? You want to
Bit more
up
energy.
a little bit?
Let's get the hips going, guys. Let's get the hips
Can we
going.
do a little clap with your snap?
I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine.
I want to see a little bigger smile because we might
Put
be
a big
taking
smile.
pictures.
Remember, we do it with joy. We need to see a lot more of the joy in here.
You want that photo to look nice, right? Let's see the smiles, let's see the hands. Now let's do it all together. Asha sir, you're the best.
Both hands up on the air now.
Love it. All right, side to side, hands up, clap. Give us the smiliest faces you have. Tell me this try any move from your end.
I've been moving the hips a lot more, but I know you've got seniors.
Let's do a little shake. Let's do a little shimmy. All right, Lamia boys, you're getting there.
There you go. We're getting in the room. Lamia is getting in the room. Wonderful.
Thank you. Yes, go. Loving the energy. Dr. Irma, let's do your best
Woo! Got Enzo in the room as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate this. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, I hope that woke everyone up. And because it was so on theme with healthcare, I hope we bring this joy into everyday life. Next, let's dive into education innovation with Mr. Qazi Nazrul Haq, who's the Managing Director of Gramin Shikha Bangladesh. Can we have a huge round of applause as we welcome him on stage?
Hello. Hello.
Good morning. I'm Qazi Nazrul Haq, Managing Director of Ramin Shikha. I have been working in Ramin for 35 years. I joined Ramin Bank in 1990 as a branch manager, and in 2001, I shifted to Shikha. This, as the title of the presentation shows, this is going to brief history of Ramin's initiative in education. The first Grameen school was the center school. Center, you know, this is a place where Grameen borrowers meet for their weekly meeting every. And the center house was transformed into a school. It was in 1978, and they started in Jopra. Professor Yunus, when he used to go to visit a center house, he observed that many children would come in the center meeting with their mothers. They didn't have their nails cut, had dust on their bodies, on their hand, on their legs, and he asked his colleagues to transform, that is to gather the children in the school, to transform the school, that is the center house as a school. And the first concern was children's health and cleanliness. And then they started with numbers. Some blackboards were introduced to teach the children how to write and read Bangla alphabet. And in many branches, this center school. This started in many branches of the in Jopra, and later the program, when the Grameen Bank expanded its work in Tangail, it was introduced in many branches in Tangail, and many schools were established all over the country in the 1980s. And some local young woman was hired to work as teachers in the school, and they were paid salary, and the salary came from a weekly subscription of the borrowers, which was collected in a fund called the Children Welfare Fund. It was called the Shishu Kullan Tahabil. So every week, each borrower, they would contribute 1 or 2 taka, and from this, salary of the teacher was given. In 1997, Grameen Bank introduced higher education loan program and also a scholarship program for Grameen Bank poor children. The higher education loan program was for borrowers, school graduate children who would go to higher education institutes, so they could. So they could pursue higher education in undergraduate and postgraduate levels in different public schools and universities. And this program is still continuing, and up to May 2025, Grameen Bank has distributed more than 4,000 million taka to more than 55,000 students, that is all borrowers' children. In 1999, Grameen Bank introduced a scholarship program for borrowers' children at primary level, junior secondary level, secondary school level, and higher certificate level, and also in cultural categories. At least 50% of the scholarship went to girls, and every year Grameen Bank distributes more than 27,000 scholarships to its borrowers' children. Till May 2025, Grameen Bank has distributed more than 739 million taka to more than 363,000 students. Grameen Shikha was created in 1997. The initial purpose was to provide literacy to illiterate Grameen borrowers and their educated, that is, the adolescent daughters who were deprived from literacy because of poverty, those who couldn't go to school because of poverty. They were brought under this program. The literacy program was called Life-Oriented Education Program. Again, Grameen Bank Center House was used as a school. In 1999, the center house began to be used as preschool for Grameen Shikha. So when Grameen Shikha was established in 1997, it had 2 purposes. One, that is to educate Grameen Bank's poor women illiterate borrowers, and then use the same center house to give literacy, that is the pre-primary education to borrowers' children. And Grameen Shikha has so far trained more than 200,000 children in its pre-primary schools. The program that Grameen Shikha introduced for Grameen Bank's adult, that is borrowers, was called Life-Oriented Education Program. Its module covered reading, writing, numeracy, and simple accounts keeping. It also included social awareness, basic health information, child and women rights, vegetable growing, poultry and cow raising, paddy and jute cultivation, etc. Different primers pursued. In fact, it was a collaboration between Grameen Shikha and UNESCO Bangladesh. And more than 3,500 borrowers of Grameen Shikha, poor illiterate borrowers, they received literacy and numeracy under this program. Audiovisual material was used, and there was a special that is a literacy band which was called Hiramon. Hiramon is a mythical bird, a messenger bird, and this that is the rickshaw called Hiramon was carrying a television set. It was powered by battery, and it was traveling from village to village, and Hiramon included audiovisual material as well as books for the borrowers. So they could borrow this book from Hiramon and return when Hiramon would come back next week. And borrowers who were interested in some sewing training, they were also given sewing training. You see photos of Hiramon, you see some photos of there were 9 primers who were used for this program, and also you see photos of some borrowers receiving sewing training. Sorry. In 2003, Grameen Shikha started a scholarship management program. The objective of the program was to provide financial support to Grameen banks. Poor meritorious Grameen banks, Grameen borrowers, poor meritorious children. And the scholarship was a lifelong scholarship support. That is, a child under the scholarship program, when they started to receive scholarship support, this would continue until completion of their higher studies. The scholarship ranged from monthly 2,500 taka to 5,000 taka. So for Grameen Shikha has distributed every year Grameen Shikha is distributing more than 40 million taka, about 4 crore taka as a scholarship. And students, Grameen Shikha, that is scholars, if they receive any scholarship from any reputed universities of the world, they are given financial support for airfare, visa fee, etc. More than 7,000 the poor meritorious students have so far received scholarship under Grameen Shikha program. There are 2 modes of sponsoring a scholar. One is we call it deposit system. Under deposit system, a sponsor deposits the money with Grameen Shikha, and from income of the deposited money is money is deposited with the commercial bank under fixed deposit, and from the income of the fixed deposit, scholarships are given to the student. And the deposit remains with Grameen Shikha, and after 5 years or later, it can be withdrawn, closing down the scholarship program. The other is we call it direct disbursement, that is disbursing directly. That is the donor or the sponsor gives the scholarship money directly to Grameen Shikha disburses the money, and a subsidy of the 10% is given to Grameen Shikha for management of the program. In 2005, Grameen Shikha started a non-formal education program for slum children. The program is going on still. The program is going on in certain areas in Mirpur, section 10, 11, and 12. And primary education is given in non-formal way to children. Children enter in grade 1 and they continue up to grade 5. And once they continue grade 5, they are given a scholarship support to continue in high school. That is from primary school up to higher education, they are supported under this program. Vocational in 2008, Grameen Shikha started the Vocational Training Center. We have 2 centers, one in Savar town, the other is in Kolma. And so far we have trained more than 15,000 children in our Vocational Training Center. We're giving vocational training in electrical house wiring, industrial wiring, industrial sewing, dressmaking, tailoring, machine garments, machine mechanic, computer fundamentals, in graphics, motorbike, repair, spoken English, etc. And our vocational training center is certified by Bangladesh Technical Education Board. We have a partnership with Japan Auto Mechanic Limited, and that is Japan Auto Mechanic Limited is a partnership between SK Dream Japan, Grameen Chika, and Ranks Workshop Limited. Students, they receive, we have a school which is called Japan Auto Mechanic School. Children receive auto mechanic training plus Japanese language training, and once they complete the training, they go to Japan with job. And 25 of our students are now working in famous factories of BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Honda, Jeep, Suzuki, etc. In 2010, Grameen Caledonian College of Nursing was established in collaboration with Classical Indian University. This is situated in Diabari. You all know about it. This is a highly rich and state-of-the-art campus. There are classrooms, labs, and excellent hostel facility. This affiliated with Bangladesh Nursing Council as well as Dhaka University. It offers BSc courses in nursing, post-basic nursing, diploma in nursing, midwifery science, MSc in nursing, etc. Recently GCCN has introduced master's course in nursing education, management, adult education and health science, community health nursing, community health and midwifery nursing. Nearly 1,000 students can take lessons at GCCN at a time. So far, more than 1,100 students have graduated from nursing college. Currently, there are 580 students in different courses. Last is the Grameen University. Grameen University is our last initiative. This is a proposed program. There are nine schools and more than 100 subjects. And as you will see, many of the subjects are for business students and science students. And they have temporarily they will start at Diabari, but the main campus will be in Purvachal in Kachipur. This briefly, means that is from center school to university. This is a brief journey of Grameen in education. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nasrul, for your overview of all the education initiatives that are happening across. I would now like to invite Mr. Suniki Hirao, who's the Managing Director of Japan Auto Mechanic Limited. So just the context of this presentation is when His Excellency Professor Mohammad Yunus, the Chief Advisor, made a recent visit to Japan. He actually put forth a challenge to the Japanese government and investors of mobilizing 100,000 jobs to be created in Japan, and these individuals, young individuals from Bangladesh who could be taken there. Hiro-san was very excited about this initiative, and he wants to share what his plan is. Hiro-san, the stage is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hirao Tsuneaki from Japan. Today, I'd like to share the very important sessions. Yes, the project name is Bangladesh-Japan Human Resource Utilization Project. This is a win-win project for Bangladesh and Japan. Project outline is we are now planning to send 100,000 young Bangladesh to Japan. And this project, Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus committed the support and the cooperation this project by Bangladesh government and the Grameen Group. I think these groups will back up the project by any means. I am appointed as the initial leader of this project by Professor Yunus to achieve this project. Okay, this is a summary of the project. We have three objectives through this project. The first one is to contribute to the acquisition of foreign currency in Bangladesh. Because, the Bangladesh people who are working in Japan send lots of money to Bangladesh to make it happen. Number two, compensate the shortage of human resources in Japan. Japan currently facing serious labor shortage issues. And then number three, the career development of Bangladesh youth. By joining this program, they can understand the job technique in Japan, and when they return to Bangladesh, they can use such a skill in Bangladesh. How can we achieve it? We have three methods. To get a visa to work in Japan, there are three types of system. Number one is technical internship training program, what we call TITP. The second one is specified skilled worker, what we call SSW. And the last one is highly skilled human resources, HSHR. We use this kind of three system between the Bangladesh and the Japan government agreed. Okay, little bit, let me explain about the background of the severe labor shortage problem in Japan. As you know, our current population in Japan is 123 million. However, government announced in 2100, our population will be 47 million, which is 1/3 of the current population. And then number two, current population in Japan, over 65 years old, occupied 30%. And current life expectancy, Japanese female, 87. Japanese male, 81. This is one of the longest in the world. Then what happened? We see the serious shortage of caregivers. For example, this year, 320,000 shortfalls happens. In 2040, shortage will be the 570,000. We need these numbers of caregivers, but we cannot make it happen in Japan. So we'd like to ask Bangladesh people to come to Japan to be the caregiver, to take care of the Japanese older people. Okay, this is a summary sheet of those three systems to get a visa. The upper one is the TITP. Usually, they can stay in 5 years, but in case, they can extend more, up to 8 years. And SSW, again, up to 5 years, but under the certain condition, they can extend to 8 years or forever. HSHR depend on the maximum period of stay, that they can stay much longer. And if you look at the applicable jobs, the TITP, manufacturing, and agriculture, fishing, a lot of things they can do. And the SSW, nursing care, building cleaning, whatever, every industry looking for. And about caregiver project, we already started the caregiver project in cooperation with the Grameen Caledonian Nursing School. Currently, we are teaching Japanese language to the graduates of the nursing school. Okay, and then one thing I want to tell you is, currently in Japan, there are 2.3 million workers from overseas countries, from various countries. For example, Number one is Vietnam, 25% of 2.3 million. China, 20%. Philippines, 10%. Nepal, 6%. How about Bangladesh? Only the 0.3%. Very small, almost nothing. So there is a huge demand in Japan. So I wanna, request Bangladesh youth to study Japanese to get a job in Japan. Okay, I skipped. Okay. This is the pilot case study. I will share a little bit. I'm also head of the Japan Auto Mechanic School since 2012. And recently, Japanese government opened the door to the overseas auto mechanic. That's why our graduate, now working in Japan. Currently, the 34 graduates are working in Japan. Average monthly salary is about 200,000 Bangladesh taka equivalent per month, 2 lakh taka per month. They send most of the money to the family in Bangladesh. It's good for the Bangladesh economic growth. Okay? And the length of stay, at least 5 years. They can stay more. Okay, this is a photo of the chief advisor Muhammad Yunus and our Japan auto mechanic students. And the other photo is they are working in Japan, Mercedes-Benz Japan, and their living standard is very good. Okay, and at the end of the year, all the Bangladesh auto mechanic graduates are coming to my home, and this is a photo shot with my family. Look at their face; they look very happy, right? So they studied very hard in Bangladesh. They got a job in Japan, and now they send a big amount of money to their family in Bangladesh. Okay. And by taking this opportunity, I'd like to thank Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus and also the Grameen Group Chairman, Mr. Ashraf, and Mrs. Nurjahan Begum, and Mrs. Ramia Moshet, and Mr. Kaji. We have a very strong Bangladesh team. Yeah, and Grameen Group Chairman Ashraf is very supportive. So I really appreciate strong, Bangladesh team. And thank you very much. And also today in this room, we have Okazaki-san from JICA. JICA is a very important role, right? And Koyama-san, Ito-san from General, which is running, caregiver, the facility in Japan. In Japan, we also organize a very, very strong team in order to make this project happen. This afternoon, I'll have a meeting with Chief Advisor Professor Yunus to discuss more in detail to this project. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make Bangladesh great. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that exciting presentation. Next up, allow me to welcome back on stage Mr. Shamsul Haq Ahmed, Managing Director of Grameen Healthcare Services, as well as Shamajik Health Science Institute and Research Center. He'll be sharing on the great achievements of Grameen Caledonian College of Nursing. Could we have a round of applause, please?
Honorable Chairman, Grameen Board, Grameen Group of Companies, very distinguished guests from abroad and home. Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. So this time I will be presenting about Grameen Caledonian College of Nursing. It's all the core areas they're working. So back in 2010, this Grameen Caledonian College started its journey with few dreams. And what do we discover in 2025? We see that most of the dreams turned into reality. And that's all about his Grameen Caledonian College of Nursing. If I define the journey of 15 years of Grameen Caledonian College, we see a journey of success, a journey of achievements, and a journey of new things adding to its profile. So how do we go about the presentation? I had few options to put the title for this Grameen Caledonian College presentation. Then and finally, we ended up with the title that let's call it for a quest for excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, now I start my presentation for your attention. So as I said, the title is it's a quest for excellence. And 2025, what do we discover? We find most of the dreams are turned into reality. What do we do? Then we sat again on the drawing board and thought about what is all about in next 5-7 years. And again, we came up with a vision. We call it Vision 2030. So I will be sharing the key snapshots of the vision in the course of my presentation. So this is the campus snapshot. I will take you through a photo gallery. So we will find so many exciting pictures staying within the campus. Yep. Talking about the background, it's a project of Grameen Telecom Trust. And of course, not only the largest, but I also believe the best nursing college in Bangladesh. It has got approval from all appropriate authorities. And importantly, it is a joint initiative with Glasgow Caledonian University and Grameen Healthcare Services. So there are big statements in the name of vision, mission, and objectives. Just to synopsis, the gist of the whole thing is to become the best nursing college and to produce the best nurses, not only for the country, but also for the rest of the world. You see a picture during our capping ceremony, which held in 2024 with our founder chairman in the picture. Yeah, very important thing. What do we mean by values? We have 5 core values. It all stands about excellence, commitment, integrity, teamwork, and innovation. And what do we do with this? These 5 are the guiding principles of this entire institution, of the entire organization. All the people, we all working here, we make sure that this remains as our guiding principles in our day-to-day acts and deeds. The most surprising element of GCCN, you will get to see in this slide. As I said, back in 2010, it started its journey in a rented building. And in the journey of 15 years, how did it evolve? There are so many parameters to talk about, but what we have done, we have captured the few important ones, just to make you understand the level, the scale of evolution. You see, it started with 38 students, 2010. Now it is 635 students. You see the faculty member, there were 7, and we have got highly qualified faculty members. The number is 31. And on top of this, there are 4 visiting faculty members. They're also within the group of these faculty members. You see the campus. It was 44,000 and rented, as I said. Wow, this is close to 300,000 square feet. Classroom started with few basic classrooms. Now we will find world-class 16 standard classrooms with all the facilities are in place. Comes to the lab, which is a very, very critical component of the entire campus. It started with one very basic labs. It has got 12 very modern labs equipped with the modern equipments and all the facilities. And last but not the least is the courses. It started with single course, diploma in nursing, and now you see there are 5. With this, you understand the scale of evolution, and that's why we call the dream turned into reality. This is a snapshot of overall Caledonian College, academic building, dormitory, high standard classrooms, modern labs, modern library, state-of-the-art auditorium, dormitory, cafeteria, and all other facilities you see here. Like I said, the courses, the 5 courses with different tenures, and altogether there are 653 students studying. The notable features, the important things are 20 students. They have undergone the scholarship program of Grameen Caledonian College. Total 1168, close to 1200 students already graduated from this particular institute. And very happy to see the number, 8 GCSE alumni, they're working as faculty who used to be previously as a student of the same institute. So we take a pride from this. Now talk about achievements. I'm happy to share with the big time achievement Grameen Caledonian College has made a few weeks back. And what it has achieved the 5-star accreditation from the Nursing Council and Midwifery. The another achievement, back in 2014, they received an Unilever National Award, which is also treated to be very prestigious. So the facilities, you just go through this. I do not want to read out so many facilities. We want to make sure the students, they do not become very much bookworm. They also get exposed to so many facilities, so they can prepare themselves as a complete person, not in the part of book and the exams only. So we have provided all the facilities there, so to grow them in a manner that they can be a perfect man in the future life of their respective. So, as I said again, extracurricular activities, this plays a very important part. You see all the cultural programs. Previously used to be performed by the external, performers, but way forward, our group chairman has issued any program happening on the group wide, it has to be GCCN students. And you saw it yesterday, I'm sure more surprises to come today as well. Yep. The collaborations has played a very, very critical role to the journey of Grameen GCCN. You see all the big names. Our heartiest thanks to these names. It wouldn't be possible to reach to this level without the help and the support from these collaborators. And I'm sure this handholding will go from strong to stronger in the days to come. The aspects, these are the exchange of faculty members, joint research activities, faculty development program, and sharing of knowledge and experiences. These are the key areas where we work with them. Finally, I touch upon with the Vision 2030. That's what we are telling that 2025 and what to do, what to go about the future. We have put a framework of Vision 2030. In short, I'm sharing the key milestones of this vision. You see, year on year, we have put the milestones, and this is our, bread and butter for each day. We have separate teams, dedicated teams to achieve all these things. We make sure that these are happening without any delay, without any deviation. Namely, I can name few of these. 2029, we aspire to be a nursing university, changing its status from nursing college to university. This would be the first of its kind in Bangladesh. And of course, we want to enroll this PhD degree 2030, and from very next year, probably, inshallah, we are going to enroll foreign students into the profile of the students. These are the three things. Finally, you see the number of students evolving, and it is 623 and moving to 1150. So you see how this scaling up is taking place. Just photo gallery, I take few seconds to share because I cannot resist myself without sharing these photo galleries. Staying here, you won't guess the beauty of the campus. So you see the academic building. You see the dormitory. You see our classrooms. You see our library. The labs. All labs. Cafeteria. And the auditorium. So that's all about it. So time is running. There are so many ringings. So thank you so much for your hearing. And I wish you to visit the campus. We will be more than happy to welcome you on the campus. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Shamsul Haq Ahmed, for that wonderful update. GCCN continues to be one of the flagship social businesses, and it's absolutely breaking path and breaking ground. I next have an immense pleasure of inviting on stage Hafez Sabet, someone who's had an intergenerational connection with the Grameen family and Mohammed Yunus, our Honorable Chief Advisor. His presentation will be on clean energy for Bangladesh using the Sabet and Dance motors. It's something that his family had invented. He's been taking care of it, and he's willingly sort of now shared it with the Social Business Network. Without further ado, if I could please have on stage Hafez Sabet, founder and CEO, Dr. Sabet Consulting, all the way from Germany. We welcome him to Bangladesh for the very first time. Can we have a huge round of applause for him?
Your Excellency, Professor Yunus, distinguished guests, Salam Alaikum. I'm honored to be here at this 15th Social Business Day to share with you our innovation to bring clean energy to Bangladesh using the Sabet advanced motor. We call this motor SAM, S-A-M. In the last years, SAM was developed by my family with a vision to create a sustainable engine that serves the poor to escape poverty, an engine that can be used on land, in the water, and in the air, and to generate energy. At the early stage, we presented SAM to Professor Yunus. His idea was to implement it together when the appropriate level of maturity of SAM is reached. Now the time has come. I am delighted to show you the first model that you see the shape. What makes SAM sustainable? SAM is resource efficient. SAM is suitable for all fuels, in particular sustainable fuels like ethanol. SAM has a low CO2 footprint. Now, why we consider SAM advanced compared to conventional engines existing till now? Because higher power output, it means the power of the SAM is 100% more than of existing regular engines in the same power class. Fewer components. It is constructed with much less parts, and the genius construction allows also a lower weight. So the SAM's weight is more than 70% less of comparable existing engines at the moment. As a result, the production costs of the SAM are also much lower, at least 50% lower than existing engines. We believe SAM cannot only serve the poor and lead the energy transition in Bangladesh at the same time, but also improve health and save lives. Let me give you one example, which was part of our study evaluating the major crop rice and use of SAM. The rice yield could be increased through optimized irrigation with the SAM. Rice processing could be more efficient. Ethanol fuel could be produced from rice processing waste. With this ethanol, electricity could be generated for various purposes, as well as warming and cooling. This results in less burning of rice waste. So the biomass is not burnt directly, but through ethanol in a very clean way. Through a conversion to ethanol, our study called Selene states that more than 90% of particle mass per ton could be reduced, which would have a direct impact on people's life. Our study also states that it would be highly efficient to produce ethanol fuel directly at the rice mills in Bangladesh, where the rice waste occurs, to have it ready there to fuel the SAM for its purposes. We believe SAM is a fundamental innovation that will drive the clean energy revolution, and we started in Bangladesh. For this, Professor Yunus has agreed to establish the Sabit Yunus Foundation, which will set up a social business to produce the SAM in and for Bangladesh and for the whole world. We invite you to partner with us to create a sustainable, inclusive, and healthier future with the SAM. Thank you very much.
Many thanks to Dr. Sabit. Please give him a round of applause for that amazing presentation. Next up, please join me in welcoming Mr. Mohammed Ashraful Hassan, the Chairman and Managing Director of Grameen Group, and Dr. Ahmed Arman Siddiqui. He's the CEO and board member of Grameen Health Tech Limited and the acting CEO of Shamadhan Services Limited. Could we have a round of applause for this exciting announcement that they're going to make today?
Thank you so much. We are here to announce one monumental milestone of Grameen Group. Grameen has been instrumental of launching many things in the ecosystem, and I really don't want to talk much about it. I'm actually the new kid in the block. But what excites me is we are getting into the fintech. So as you know, Grameen is very much into health tech, and you have been seeing, the diaspora that we are actually covering. So this fintech is called Shamadhan, and Bangladesh is the country of microcredit and fintech. It has done a great job, and of course, Grameen has one of the key reasons to actually hone this success. This Shamadhan will ensure that the fill in the gaps are very much covered, and like we did last year in Manila, we declared Shukhi and then we launched with 16 features. With Shamadhan, inshallah, we'll plan to launch with 18 features that will actually serve the purpose of the people and that will make the mark. So without further ado, I would request the panel to play the Shamadhan CG. Can we have the Shamadhan CG, please? you will be amazed to know, like Shukhi, this logo was also hate likhe, with the hand, crafted, drafted, and designed by our own Professor Mohammad Yunus. A round of applause of these 18 circles. So that 18 blocks has inspired us to bring back with this design of 18 products and services. And inshallah, we will aim to launch in the Victory Day of this year, 16 December. Please keep us in your prayers. With a detail of it, I would request our Honorable Group Chairman to talk about the vision and what we really want to achieve through Samadhan.
Distinguished guests, respected partners, flow change makers. On behalf of our entire Grameen Group and Samadhan family, I am honored to share a moment that makes both milestone and mission reaffirmed. Today, with a great pride and deep responsibility, I announce that Samadhan has officially received the PSP license. Actually, we applied for this license in 2021 September, and we got the NOC from government November, June, no, yeah, 4th of June, no, September 13, September 13. So they gave us some challenges, the 13th different demand or requirements or KPI this set up, and finally we got the final license in June this year. So this is not a easy journey. We have started 3 years back, and somehow somebody is thinking that we got the license from the recent government. It is not true. For our media person and Bangladeshi community, I just share what was the background of Shukhi. Now, what we have planned to do, it is a recognition of the technology can be used not just to serve the privileged few, but to include the many. It signals a future where financial services are no longer luxury, but a rights, accessible, ethical, and human first. This license strengthens our ability to deliver fair, affordable, and scalable financial tools to those who often left out from the system: women entrepreneur, youth, rural agent, and a small business across the community. Samadhan was born from a belief that financial system must be understood for social impact, not just shareholder returns. We are proud to build a fintech-rooted social business principle where profit fuels purpose and purpose-driven innovation. The milestone is a collective victory. To our regulators, thank you for believing in innovation with integrity. To our team, thank you for building with heart and discipline. To our partners, thank you for walking the road with us. And to the communities we serve, you are the reasons we exist. This is our moment to prove the finance can be a force for good, and Samadhan is ready to lead by example. Let's build a future where no one is too small to dream. Thank you.
Thank you so much. In order to make this event memorable, I would love to call upon to the stage the people who worked behind to have this license launched. May I please call upon to the stage the board members. Let me read out the names. The Hujjatul Islam Latif sir, Nazin Appa, Sohel Ahmed, Najul Bhai, Wakar Bhai, Firoz Bhai, and also the Samadhan team, our CEO Anwar Hussain, the acting CTO Solomon Russell, the head of strategy Saiful Bari, the head of product Nijum Salahuddin Tanvir, and our HR Nishat. So could we all quickly come onto the stage and take a picture and make it memorable? একটু কাইন্ডলি লতিফি স্যারকে জন্য নিয়ে আসেন নাজমুল ভাই। হাই স্যার, আসেন। Please a round of applause to Latifi sir, the young at heart spirit, and we all love him. Thank you, sir. Ashish. একটা জোরে হাততালি হবে, round of applause for us, please. Thank you, Mohan bhai. Thank you so much. Prometheus, should I continue or you want to declare that? Okay. So one more, sorry, Amake, you have to deal with me for another 2-3 minutes, unfortunately. As we were telling you yesterday that Shukhi launching global, we have 2 countries, one is Nepal and one is Thailand. So we just want to take 1 minute of the time to actually have this collaboration moment with Yunus Center Thailand. Would you please, could I please call up onto the stage Mr. Yusuf Shah and his team from Thailand very quickly. So as you know, Shukhi is actually launching globally for the diaspora in NRBs, but we want to replicate that tech to the other countries. So with Nepal, Mr. Farsha, Dr. Farsha, could you please have come on this? Saw everyone. Please come onto the stage quickly. And also Shukhi team, Farin and everyone. So same way in Thailand, we'll also replicate the same. On top of it, you know, there is a huge demand on the medical tourism, and Thailand has been a destination for the Bangladeshi diaspora for the premium segment. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to capture a little below the premium segment. And you know, Farsha, Dr. Farsha, they have run a hospital and they have a beautiful organization that they are actually you know, running the show there, and that's a business diversification that we will do. In order to talk a little bit about it, Dr. Shah, would you please give us your perspective of this collaboration?
Oh, first of all, it's really overwhelming to return to Dhaka after so many years, and I'm delighted to be here as well. I've noticed that we do a lot of very interesting work, as you know, but medical tourism takes away $5 billion out of Bangladesh. And Thailand is one of the 2 destinations that a lot of Bangladeshis go to for healthcare and tertiary support. So naturally, it's an obvious opportunity for us to build a social business that builds around medical care and tertiary care and overseas healthcare programs. So with this new initiative, what we're trying to pilot is connect Bangladesh to cost-effective healthcare, not only for the very rich who could afford to go anywhere anyway, but for people who do not have unlimited money to spend on healthcare, but still need quality healthcare and still need good quality overseas medical services. So with us right now, of course, 2 countries, India and Thailand, dominate the Bangladeshi healthcare market. But now we see that the perception is that Thailand is more expensive. But our homework has shown us that Thailand has multi-tiered healthcare service offers. So we are now connecting Thai medical service providers to Bangladeshi clients, if you may, at price points that are more affordable and a level of service which is exemplary when it compares to other countries in the region. So we're hoping that this pilot, it's a pilot at the moment, will demonstrate that while we are building healthcare services in Bangladesh, while we are enhancing the scope of medical support services in Bangladesh, the gap will be filled by more affordable and very high quality healthcare in Thailand. And Thailand, of course, has in the region, after Singapore and Japan, the highest number of internationally accredited hospitals. So you can see that this partnership is going to go, like so many of our other collaborations, go to directly to support the middle income and the slightly higher income group that otherwise would want to go but may not afford to go overseas and will now be able to. So thank you for this opportunity. And with my team here and everyone, I think we're going to make this a success like so many other projects. And hopefully next year we'll give you an update on how we've done. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Could we have that picture now, sir and Farsha on this? Yes, Dr. Farsha. Oh, you took the picture already? Thank you so much. Just before we go, when we launched Shukhi last year in Manila, Professor Yunus did one thing. He said, can we all say Shukhi? So now, when we take a picture, we don't say cheese, we say Shukhi. So I will say 1, 2, 3, and we all will scream Shukhi. Can we do that? Okay, 1, 2, 3, Shukhi! No. Need more energy. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy.
Thank you very much. And once again, all the very best and many, many congratulations to the Shamadhan team. I hope they do wonderful things. Now we come to what has been effectively, and I'll always say, it's multiple conferences within a conference, which is the country and regional forums. We're delighted to announce that this time we have had about 13 to 14 regional and country forums happen right before Social Business Day. Can we have a huge round of applause? There have been country forums such as the Bangladesh one, which has actually gone through the entire day. I really, really wish we had half a day just dedicated to each of these country forums. But as you can imagine, I'm extremely constrained for time, and I was not able to give it. It is a bit of a push to present everything within about 2.5 minutes. However, we'll continue to do that because of the sheer number of speakers that we have. We just have to have all of them on stage. But just to give you a bit of background, over the past days, change makers from all across the various continents have gathered and had focused discussions and sessions, sharing their local insights, challenges around how they're furthering social business. What you'll hear next is a global mosaic of ideas. From Africa to Asia, from Latin America to Europe, all the way to the continent of Australia. We now have individuals who will report back on the exciting discussions that they've had, focused on growing from strength to strength, diversity, unity, that is the social business movement. Could I now announce each of these speakers and ask them to please come on stage? For the Bangladesh Forum, could I please request Zahirul Alam, who's the Executive Director of Integrated Development Forum. Could I please invite Zahir Bhai on stage? Do we have Zahir Bhai here? All right, I'll keep on calling your names. Oh, there we go. Can we have a huge round of applause? IDF has been an amazing partner in hosting the country forum. Zahir Bhai, you have got our utmost gratitude for that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next up, we've got Alex Counts, the founder of Ramin Foundation and author of Small Loans and Big Dreams. He's representing the North America Regional Forum. Alex, could we please have you on stage? Can we please keep the claps going? Then from Brazil, we've got Francisco Vinzete, who's the Executive Director of Yunus Social Business Brazil. Francisco, thank you so much. Then from the Philippines, we've got our very good friend Andy who's the Strategic Project Manager for Negros Women for Tomorrow Foundation. NWTF, Andy and his whole team continue to be great supporters of social business. Thank you, Andy. You guys hosted Social Business Day last year and you've had a wonderful forum this year. Thank you. Then we've got our very, very good friend Enzo Curcio, who's a representative of Yunus Foundation in Italy, who's going to be doing the report back. So Enzo, could we please have you on stage? Can we have a huge round of applause for Enzo? Followed by this is our representative from the Australia Forum, Giles Gunasekara. Giles is the CEO of Global Impact Initiative. We've had a wonderful discussion, and Giles will be reporting back on behalf of the forum. Can we have a huge round of applause for Giles? From Thailand, we've got Parisha, who's the Director of Ventures at Yunus Thailand. Thank you, Parisha. You guys have been absolutely breaking boundaries and pathways by all the wonderful initiatives from Yunus Thailand. Thank you. From Japan, we've got Shiori Onishi, who's the co-CEO of Grameen Euglena. Thank you very much, Onishi-san, for everything that you've been doing. Can we have a huge round of applause? We've had a new entry into a country forum. The first time making its breakthrough is the Pakistan Country Forum. And from there, we've got Sania Ali, who's the Strategy and Grants Proposal Lead from RIS. Thank you very much, Sania. Could we have Sania on stage if she's around? Oh, there we go. Thank you. Can we have a huge round of applause? This time has been Pakistan's first representation into Social Business Day, and we greatly appreciate all that you've done. From Pakistan, we move on to Malaysia. Would I please have Alia Diana Zamri, who's presenting the country forum on behalf of the Al-Bukhari International University. Thank you very much, AIU. You continue to be great supporters. And again, the country which has truly made its mark this year at Social Business Day is the Nepal delegation, and they've done equally so. Can I please request Sanjay Mandal, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Jivan Bikash Lagubita Bitaya Shangstha Limited. Could I please request Sanjay on stage, who's going to be reporting on behalf of the Nepal Forum? And then obviously we've got Bishwajit Ghosh, who's the co-founder and CEO of Nobin Entrepreneurship Foundation. Bishwajita, could we please have you on stage? He's the lone representation in person from India, and we deeply appreciate this. It would have been an absolute big miss if we didn't have anyone from India. Bishwajita has pretty much braved all the conditions and come through. Then from the Greater China Forum, we've got Alex Wang, who's the Managing Director of the Global Committee on Social Business for SDGs. Alex, thank you very much. So as you can see, all our speakers are here. I've been tasked with moderating this session. What we will do is, some of you have presentations, some of you don't. I'd leave it to you if you wanted to speak just from your seats or from the dais. You've got about 2.5 minutes to present. First up, I'd like to request Zahir Bhai, if you wanted to come to the podium and start your report back. Zahir Bhai, over to you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Very short time. So I'm reporting back the gathering report of Bangladesh Country Forum. So this was different kind this time, different format in different location. And we organized in Integrated Development Foundation this time. And from INU Center helped Ms. Nandini Sultana, and then also Mr. Abdul Hai. We formed an organizing committee, and convener was from the Basha Foundation, Executive Director, and also Professor Dr. Hassan Ali from Asroy, and from CDF Executive Director and the Sakusti Executive Director. So we, in fact, made the conception clear first to our participants. About 150 participants, more than 70 physically participated, and about 80 participated on Zoom link. So we made clear to them the conception about social business day, and also social business fund. These things we made them clear because it was the first time this kind of gathering. Then we shared the experience of help from 8 different organizations, MFIs. Then we shared Tizuri Club. Then we had an open feedback session. And then we made an action plan for the next years. So our main purpose was to give a permanent shape to social business forum, country forum. That's what we agreed. And all the participants with a spontaneous feelings, they agreed to form a country forum, and also they agreed to form a social business fund so that we can fund the social business activities in Bangladesh. So, and we just it was very spontaneous, and everybody, and you can see there the video clip of the whole things. As we in fact planned also to organize about 2,000 30 clubs by the MFIs within the next year. So then in that case, we will form a country social business forum, social business fund, and 2,000 this 30 club. And we are also planning, and all these participants, especially MFIs, agreed at least to support, to start 45 minimum social business projects through this social business fund. We will give legal shape to them. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Zahir Bhai. Really appreciate it. Just to emphasize, the 2-minute report back has not at all been entirely reflective of the insightful discussions that Zahir Bhai and everyone has had. And by itself, the Bangladesh Country Forum can be deemed a conference itself. So congratulations to you and everyone who's done it, and you've got our sincerest gratitude. Thank you. Next up, there's been an interesting entry just now. Africa, the region of Africa, has actually had extensive country forum discussions as well. And we've got the representation from them coming and joining us, who's Dr. Zipporah from Africa, who's just joined us online. Could I please request my team, if we've got Dr. Zipporah online? I didn't want to hold him back because he's there. All right, wonderful, Dr. Zipporah. Thank you for joining, and you have the floor to report back. Thank you. Sorry, Dr. Zipporah, I think we're just getting an issue with your sound. Let's get that sorted. Could we have the sound output, please?
Good morning.
Yes, Dr. Zipporah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Thank you. Yes, I can hear you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Please continue. Thanks.
Oh, thank you. I'm here to report our report from Kenya on behalf of Jonas Yahovi, who couldn't join this. So we had our forum, and 50 people participated, and our theme was technology and data innovations as a path to the most efficient healthcare for all. And this was mainly focusing on rural access, telemedicine, artificial intelligence in healthcare, and inclusive social innovations models. The key issues and context in these discussions are right and wrong. Limited access to healthcare in rural areas, limited trust in tech-based solutions among communities, regulatory barriers to innovations, like adoption of drone deliveries and telemedicine, the urgent need for scalable, affordable, and context-specific interventions, high cost of chronic disease treatment, lack of inclusive funding, and poor digital infrastructure, due to low internet access in the rural areas. So these challenges were discussed against the backdrop of Kenya's shifting political and social landscape. So positive developments discussed includes a telemedicine program, through a program called Daktari Smart, cutting across 5 counties in this country, operating via public hospitals, focusing on pediatric care, mainly for the children and the 5 years and below, and the use of paperless hospital management system, helping us to identify service gaps and attract investor interest. So there was the issue of AI integration, particularly in automating insurance claims and pre-authorization. As you know, in this country, everybody is now under the public health insurance care. Therefore, the rural people have a problem in that, or a challenge in that. We also have a social business model known as a Doctor in the Village Initiative, which is a rural healthcare program in the western part of Kenya, which delivers care directly to undeserved communities. And the approach is deeply embedded in community structures and aims to build local trust in tech-driven healthcare. We also have an innovation, a social business innovation incubation center, Build Rural Africa, which works with early stage health entrepreneurs, by providing capacity, capital, and focusing on innovations with real impact potential. Therefore, the emphasis on importance of integrating health education into existing rural activities in the rural Kenya. So future actions and recommendations, this is what we agreed. Scale telemedicine to all parts of the country, the 47 counties in Kenya. Launch digital literacy programs to build community trust and cyber security awareness. Resolve regulatory handles, which is another challenge, where social innovators can make use of issues, things like drones, to ensure delivery of medical services in the far unreached areas. Build accommodation facilities near hospitals to reduce long-term treatment costs. Integrate AI in claims and insurance across public hospitals. Develop legal frameworks for telemedicine and digital, and create funding support for early innovators. Therefore, support for all social innovators will fail also to get to accelerator stage, especially to those working in the incubation centers. So we are still working on this, and especially in further areas of research in this, to ensure safe and trusted technology frameworks, and also health-seeking behavior in the rural areas, and the issue of low technology and high-tech effectiveness in these far areas that are not reached. Therefore, we are looking forward into that in the future, and how to scale further technology and health innovations in the far unreached areas. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This just shows the incredible discussions we've had. Thank you. It's about 9:20 your time. Thank you for waking up really early on a Saturday and joining us. We really appreciate this. Now, we've moved from Bangladesh over to Africa and now over to North America. Could we please ask Alex Counts, who's the founder of Grameen Foundation, to please report back on the North American Regional Forum. Alex, over to you.
Thank you. As they pull up my very small amount of slides, I just want to ask you something. Don't I look great? Oh. This vest I bought from one of the Nobian entrepreneurs in the marketplace, and it's just a tremendous work. He calls his business 2 stars. I think it should be called 5 stars. But anyway, just check out his business. We had an online forum on June 16th. These are the organizations that were part of it. 7 organizations, 11 individuals. And you can go to the next slide. The quality of the photos was pretty bad. These were taken from the online experience. Don't use those anywhere. But anyway, we were there. And April Cheng was one of 4 students from GW University who participated. April is participated from Bangladesh, where she's been doing an internship all summer with the Unicenter, and helped produce this with the other interns and staff. So what we heard is that, go to the next slide, please. We heard about the diversity in academia that we heard from HEC. By the way, the other co-chair was Professor Mai Tai from HEC Montreal. They're focused on AI for social good and experiential learning, whereas GW University has been focused more on extreme deprivation or extreme poverty, and on top of that, placing interns in places like the Unicenter. We heard extensively from Grameen America, which is a social business focused on, thank you. You're so good at that. We have heard about Grameen America. Yeah, keep that up, thank you. Which has 250,000 borrowers in the US, dispersed $1 billion last year, and generated $14 million in profit through micro-lending, which was plowed back into Grameen America. But we also heard on the other side that they've been working on a Grameen Primacare healthcare initiative as a social business, and they just couldn't make the financing work. So they had to bring it within Grameen America and have it as a service. We talked about, you can go to the next slide and I'll finish up right here. We talked about, could we have a North America summit for social business? And we thought that it would be much more powerful if there were more examples of scale social businesses that besides Grameen Bank and Grameen America. We heard about Grameen Foundation's work. They have launched 3 social businesses, including 2 in India that have been working for years. We asked, are there full courses on social business that exist? And if any of you know a full course on social business that exists, please share it with us and we'll share it back with our university partners. And we also learned that there really are no legal forms for social business in Canada. If you want to know more, come visit me at the book stall in the marketplace. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex, for that. And just again, a kind reminder that light bell that you can hear at the back, that's basically our indication of time running out. We're not giving 2 multiple bells. It's just the 1 bell when you run out of your time. Now, from North America, we just fly a little, south down to South America, and we've got the Brazil Forum being represented by Francisco. Over to you, Francisco, for the update.
Thank you so much. I also have slides, a few ones. So, but before, it's very important to say that Professor Yunus is really famous in Brazil. The last time that he went there, he went to a university, and there were 3,000 students attended there. So the social business community is really active. Next slide. So as you can see in this one, we hosted this forum virtually, and we have 80 participants. And social entrepreneurs, specialists, investors, students, 1 keynote speaker, and 6 social entrepreneurs presenting their solutions. And the key question is, how can social businesses strengthen healthcare infrastructure and efficiency in Brazil, and also bring healthcare for all? And there is a context in Brazil that we have the largest national healthcare system in the world. This was based in the UK experience. So we have a big benefit, but also some challenges. Aging population, fragmented care, and a large and very spread population living in different areas. Next, please. So these were the solutions that we had, 6 startups, and they already impacted 10 million people in the bottom of the pyramid in Brazil. So they are already mature companies that have a know-how of the sector. Next, please. And the main identified opportunities that we saw in Brazil, and this applies to other geographies too, is access to healthcare in terms of telemedicine. So telemedicine nowadays can be a huge tool to solve issues in healthcare. So also social business providing innovative solutions to public and private care, scalability, and potential cost reductions with more mobile units. Next, the final one. Yeah, so thank you for everyone, and I invite you to let's do social business in Brazil.
Thank you very much, Francisco. Really appreciate this. Now from Brazil, over to the Philippines. Andy from NWTF, over to you.
Thank you, Prometheus, and good afternoon, everyone, and a very happy birthday to Professor Yunus, if he was here. I wish you could hear that. So the Philippine Country Forum happened online last May 30 via Zoom. This was held in conjunction with the meeting of the Society for the Advancement of Professional Social Entrepreneurship, or SAPSE. The goal of this coalition is to unify the efforts, programs, and activities of all stakeholders and strengthen the social business, social enterprise ecosystem, not only in the Philippines, but in the region of Southeast Asia. So we're divided into 5 subsectors, namely corporations, the academe, the micro, small, and medium enterprises, cooperatives, and NGOs. NWTF is we are a council member of the NGO subsector. And the efforts of the NGO subsector fall mainly under three main categories. That's financing, capacity building, and impact assessment. And so all the subsectors are going to meet in a big conference in November to share, similar to this, to share ideas and discuss plans to further strengthen the whole ecosystem. And then this is also going to lead up to an ASEAN conference in May next year. So I am inviting our colleagues and friends here from Southeast Asia, Thailand, Malaysia. If you guys are interested or want to participate, let's connect after this. And that's it for the Philippines.
Okay, thank you. From the Philippines, we fly all the way to Europe. Enzo Curcio, who's the representative of Yunus Foundation Italy. Enzo, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I'm so happy that we are growing year after year. This family is growing well and in a fantastic health, let's say. And I hope that one day we can organize a huge gathering in a stadium to celebrate Professor Yunus and Professor Yunus' birthday. So I want to go deep inside the report of Europe. We have many countries involved. I started with Italy, and allow me to begin with the moment that remain deeply symbolic for us. That is the launch of the very first Vatican Yunus 3.0 Club in November 2024, that is called Pope Francis Yunus 3.0 Club. This initiative started also with the collaboration of Yunus Foundation just before the passing of Pope Francis, and reflect a strong desire to root the spirit of 3.0 and the very heart of human and spiritual value of Pope Francis' mandate. The club is now working with the youth on a transformative venture on two main topic or project: a social fashion house and an organic pizzeria that offers work opportunity to marginalized young people and mental health affected young people. Those two projects are inaugurated a few months ago, and we can hope that when Professor Yunus will come to Italy, we will invite him and Pope Leo to join the pizzeria, to join the pizzeria dinner. So by now we can hope that it happen very soon. In the city of Matera, through the City of Peace Foundation, we supported Italian translation and dissemination of the Yunus documentary. More than 1,000 students from high school to university have already been involved in screenings and discussions. At the Yunus Social Business Center in Urbino, Dr. Elisabetta from Urbino, our professor, Righini, and her team are focused on the intersection between health and justice, while Italy University health system remain a point pride, growing pressure is pushing many toward private cares. So in parallel, Paola Samoggia has been producing a power visual content. I'm so sorry, but we are more than 10 countries, so I have to. Now let me briefly turn to our friends in French, where Clement and the team of Yunus France and Yunus Sport Hub are setting the piece on several fronts. The Yunus Sport Hub is leading a whole ecosystem of initiative, from IOC and Leader Program to the Alibaba Global Accelerator to the guys supported Global Community for Social Sports Entrepreneurs. A major milestone ahead is the Milan Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics, where we aim to replicate the social innovation model tested in Paris during the last Olympic Games. Yunus France is also expanding the Yunus Social Business Network, supporting young women in Senegal through the Nobin project. The Young Children program, in partnership with the BNP Paribas and Yunus Foundation, is shaping the next generation of change makers through real-world experience. So I would like also to give the floor to Dominique, that maybe for 2 seconds, because we don't have time, otherwise the bell rings for other 2 times, to report from German activities.
Thank you, Promi. Let me stand behind you as a European fellow. I'm happy to report back also from Germany, social business activities. We heard already from Tobias before. He works in digital health and social business, also in collaboration with the WHO. We heard from Inglosus Foundation from Frankfurt, who prepares the German Healthcare and Insurance Summit to discuss how to include social business there. Then we learned from our friends at Friends of Social Business Association from Berlin that they are going to create 200 German 3-0 clubs within this year. Then our foundation, the Wire Foundation, we came to Dhaka in March and visited the Grameen College of Nursing, and we explore partnerships there. And we further support, of course, the Yunus Center in academia and in the development of 3-0 clubs. Also Yunus Social Business in helping for them to help social business entrepreneurs to scale. And where am I? And the Friends of Social Business, of course, Association to support the future skills. And last but not least, Yunus Sports Hub and Yunus France, who continue to bring health and sport programs to underserved youth. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Dom. And now from Europe, we move on to the country that I call home now. On a Saturday Arvo, which we say afternoon, we've got Giles Gunasekara, the CEO of Global Impact Initiative, to cover our discussions from Australia Forum. Giles, over to you.
Thanks, Prometheus. Hi, everyone. My name is Giles Gunasekara from Sydney, Australia. Firstly, Assalamu alaikum. We held our Australian Regional Forum on Friday, 20th of June. We focused on the 3 zeros vision, so 0 poverty, 0 unemployment, 0 net carbon emissions, and this report really highlights our initiatives that align with those 3 zero visions. Firstly, Professor Mahfouz Ashraf, who's been on some panels and will be on some further panels this afternoon, introduced the 3 zero initiatives in Australia, which is an academic and industry think tank focused on renewable energy, especially solar innovation for low resource settings, and pure safe drinking water, like a $100 solar powered water purifier. These initiatives align with SDGs 9, 10, and 11, and with a particular emphasis on women's empowerment. Duncan Power, who was on the previous panel, shared insights from Dana Australia, an Australian charity with projects across Southeast Asia and Bangladesh. He highlighted upcoming social business fund for loans and zero interest capital investments. A key project which Duncan spoke about was transforming Grameen Filipinos microfinance into a green microfinance organisation, piloting 30 sari stores to eliminate single-use plastics and increasing store income by 10%. Myself, as the CEO and founder of Global Impact Initiative, spoke about impactful affordable housing projects which focus on marginalised communities, particularly those with disabilities, essential workers, women escaping domestic violence, at-risk children, refugees and migrants, and also Indigenous people. These projects aim to address 16 of the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals, and also we spoke about circular economy investments, which have an incredible opportunity to create employment, but also to reduce carbon. And our very own MC Amazing, Prometheus Siddiqui, emphasised the important and crucial role of youth empowerment in social business movement. He advocated for fostering 3 zero clubs, which are groups committed obviously to the 3 zeros mission, to leverage the growing social consciousness of youth people and ensure that their participation continues and is increased and enhanced in policy dialogues. Our forum concluded with a follow-up workshop in Sydney at the Lincoln Institute for Higher Education, where we'll talk further about how do we engage participants and further advance social business initiatives in Australia and the Asia Pacific. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jazz. Really appreciate it, mate. From Australia, we move on to Thailand. Over to Parisha, the Director of Ventures at Yunus Thailand. Parisha, over to you.
Hello? Okay. Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, fellow representatives. My name is Parisha Duangtawisap. I am a Director of Ventures at Yunus Thailand. It is my honor to be representing Thailand in this regional forum. In the next 2 minutes, please allow me to share our highlights, look back on our last year, and look forward to the next. This past year, across our Yunus Thailand offices and Yunus centers, we explored the themes that are top of mind for many of our stakeholders, including ESG, legal literacy, circular economy, and sexual health, with regional and global partners. Next slide, please. Looking back on the year, we expanded our existing youth programs, such as through our Waste Hero project, and to make space for youth to creatively engage with sustainability, such as through a climate film festival. With our corporate partners, we supported a significant amount of capacity building and research initiatives, especially in the energy sector. Next slide, please. Oh, this one is good. All right. In our research and academic initiatives, we explored gaps in people-centered justice and equipped entrepreneurs with legal knowledge. We upskilled women engineers and assessed the needs of NGOs in the HIV support space. And finally, in our venture building studio, we are working with women entrepreneurs in coastal communities to create high-value seaweed products as a solution for income generation and climate adaptation. Last but not least, we are happy to share that we are in the final stages of closing our first round of fundraising for Grameen replication in Thailand. And these are just a few notes from last year. So looking forward, we heard many ideas from our network about tailoring our programs to better meet the needs of our audiences and to form hubs for taking action at the community and the policy level. If you're interested, here are just a few events that we have already planned for this upcoming year. So on behalf of Yunus Thailand and the Yunus Centers, we're excited to continue enabling our youths, our communities, and our stakeholders to become pioneers in creating a social business economy in Thailand. Happy to see you at booth number 18 in the marketplace. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Parisha. Thank you. Just on a side note, for those of you who would have attended Social Business Days previously, we used to have a session called Pecha Kucha, where we would give in a timer to present the social businesses in under a minute. This is pretty much reminding me of that. But the fact that we're still being able to do it, a big felicitation and congratulations to you all. Now, from Thailand, we move over to one of the pioneering countries of social business, which is Japan. Onishi-san, co-CEO of Grameen Oglina, over to you.
Thank you. Slide, please. Japan Forum, with 9 participants, has focused on how social business can solve the country's unique issue, aging society. Japan is facing a serious demographic challenge. As of 2025, nearly 30% of the population is over 65 years old, making Japan one of the most aged societies in the world. By 2040, this number is expected to exceed 35%, creating an urgent need for caregivers. However, the number of local caregivers is insufficient, and many profit-oriented agencies fail to ensure proper training and care quality. At the same time, in Bangladesh, many young people are struggling to find employment. There is also a lack of access to quality skill development opportunities. We discussed that social business can solve 2 problems with 1 solution. The idea is to build a social business that connects Bangladesh and Japan through caregiving sector. By training young Bangladesh candidates as skilled caregivers and sending them to Japan through a transparent and ethical system, we can support Japanese aging population while empowering the youth of Bangladesh. This will not only meet the demand for quality care in Japan, but also help create future leaders in the caregiving sector in Bangladesh. But the quality is the must. Starting from small-scale pilot project is the key, with impact investment and profit-sharing models. Collaboration with aid agencies is also crucial to train trainers to teach Japanese language and culture. Through such an idea of social business in the caregiving sector, we can build a caring society across borders. This is the discussion summary from Japanese Country Forum. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate this. Now, from a pioneering country forum to that of your
Honored-
debuting. Sorry. All right. Yeah. We'll just hold on to that. Yeah. So we now move over to Pakistan, making its debut. Sanya Ali, over to you.
Hello? Okay. Rizk was honored to be hosting Pakistan's first ever country forum. And because the conversation in Pakistan is so nascent with regards to social business, instead of having a very tightly structured, flow of the day in terms of understanding, what kind of social business initiatives there are, we took the time to gather some of the leaders in social enterprise from both food and hunger all across Pakistan in one room, along with some students, some startup ecosystem leaders, and some young entrepreneurs. And so we had this really candid discussion on what exactly social business is, the religious and cultural guilt tied with, kind of tying up revenue generating models with impact. And, at the end of the day, what we really realized is while we're talking about social business and trying to clarify what exactly it means, there's a real lack of an actual startup or social enterprise ecosystem in Pakistan as a whole. And what that is not a gap, but an opportunity for us to not have to kind of convert a social enterprise ecosystem to social business. We can just build one from scratch that is inherently got principles of social business built into it. So Rizk is very excited to be working with Dr. Fez to be reimagining this. And of course, in terms of some of the great leaders that we had represented there, we do have Allah Wale Trust that's also part of the Pakistani delegation. They're really pioneering the nexus between health and food-based initiatives at scale for solving large-scale social impact problems. So they're here with us today if you'd like to learn more about their programs. For example, they're running Pakistan's largest school lunch program, 100,000 meals a day. And so, leaders like these, seasoned leaders like these, being in the room with us, willing to understand how we can move towards something like social business in itself was really refreshing. And so I think it was a great initiation to the conversation. We're really excited for the next one as well. So thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Sanya. From Sanya, we move over to Alia Diana Zamri, representing the Malaysia Forum. Over to you, Alia.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and good day, everyone. I'm Alia from Al-Bukhari International University. Can we have the slide? Okay. So we have Malaysia Country Forum this early June, which attended by universities and also the industries and also the social enterprise. Okay, next slide. It is chaired by our DVCRI, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation, Dr. Suraya Hani Mokhtar. In Malaysia, we are working collectively to strengthen the social business ecosystem by fostering the collaboration between the student, universities, and industries. Okay. So we believe empowering young people is essential. They bring fresh ideas, social innovation, and also the passion needed to drive meaningful change. Universities plays a vital role by providing education, research, and mentorship to nurture the future social entrepreneurs. And at the same time, industry is stepping forward by offering partnership, internship, and mentorship. Okay, and this will help young talent transform their ideas into real-world solutions with lasting social impact. One of our national efforts is the National Social Business Conference, a platform that unites universities, entrepreneurs, policymakers, and advocates to foster partnership and inspire collective action. Next slide. At AIU, we demonstrate our commitment through the 3-0 Club movement, where over 1,000 students from more than 60 countries actively participate in 110 clubs, working together to achieving zero poverty, zero unemployment, and zero net carbon. AIU also has co-hosted 13 Social Business Day in 2023, reflecting our strong dedication to advancing the social business agenda. In addition, we offer Master in Social Business program designed for practitioners, innovators, and leaders who wish to deepen their expertise and create greater impact. We welcome your enrollment and collaboration. For more information, you may connect us through our official social media. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alia. Deeply appreciate it. All the contributions that have come out of Malaysia over many years now. Now we move on to Nepal. Sanjay, who's the CEO of Jeevan Vikas. Sanjay, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Namaste to all. It is an honor to present highlights from the country forum, Nepal Country Forum, for the 15th Social Business Day 2025. On June 23rd, we proudly hosted the Nepal Country Forum with 106 participants from across the microfinance institutions, cooperatives, 3-0 clubs, and academic institutions. The forum was inaugurated by the Honorable Vice Chairman of Nepal National Planning Commission and chaired by Mr. Sankarman Srestha, Chairman of CSD and Chair of Organizing Committee. We were further honored by the presence of 3 members of parliaments of Nepal during the closing session. This year theme, social business is the most important path to ensure healthcare for all, set the tone of insightful discussion across 4 dynamic panels. We discussed youth entrepreneurship, eco-village and hardcore poor support, 3-0 clubs, and healthcare for poor. We explored how social business can be driving force for inclusive, accessible, and sustainable health system. Finally, the forum produced bold 2-year action plan. We are committed to empower youth through entrepreneurship and establish 50 incubation centers in Nepal, to create 50 eco-villages and support 20,000 hardcore poor. And the forum target 4,000 new 3-0 clubs. There are already about 4,000 clubs already there. And most importantly, in Nepal, establish a new social business company named Healthcare for Poor to promote and facilitate health services for the underprivileged across the company. Thank you.
4,030 clubs. That deserves a huge round of applause. That's an amazing feat. 4,030 clubs in one country. From Nepal, now we move over to its neighbor, India. Bishwajita, over to you. And if you wanted to, please use the podium. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Very glad to be here in Social Business Day. And I was honored to organize the country forum on healthcare in India. And as you know, this is something very close to our hearts. This is one domain which binds the two countries very strongly. So the format that we used is we looked at the participants to be youth who are interested in social entrepreneurship and healthcare. Most of them are interns in this segment. And we reached out to a lot of hospitals in West Bengal and beyond who have been working with Bangladesh, as well as they are social entrepreneurs in their own right. So we had, if you can just go back to the previous slide. So we had 6 entrepreneurs joining this session. Next slide, please. We started off with requesting Arman Bhai to come and inaugurate the session, and he talked about Sukhi, which was practically a role model for all developing countries to follow. I think this is one model which even India can benefit greatly. We had Professor Prabhat Pani from Tata Trust, and you're all aware of the wonderful work that Tata Trust does in the healthcare sector. And he talked about various healthcare innovations and social entrepreneurship in India, particularly those supported by the government and corporates. It was a very enriching session. Next slide. We took snapshots from various hospitals, social entrepreneurs who have founded these hospitals or they are in the senior management. We had Peerless Hospital talking about how they are advancing super specialty care, affordable in East and Northeast India. They have recently opened another hospital in Guwahati, which is close to the northern parts. We had from Siliguri, Mr. Sinhal from King's Hospital, who also services a lot of Bangladeshi patients in the past. We had from Apollo, a child development center, area which is increasingly becoming important because of the early intervention required for neurodivergent children. And we had from Bhopal, a specialized cancer care. And next slide. So that's the summary. I think 2 key takeaways I had. One, the students were very inspired to hear about social entrepreneurship and healthcare. And number 2, we had a lot of hospitals who have been traditionally working strongly with Bangladesh, and glad to hear that Grameen is coming in a big way in this field as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bishulia. Thank you. That was very succinct. Now from the Greater China Forum, we've got Alex Bang for his presentation. Thank you, Alex.
Thanks very much. So I'm not sure we have the slides, but the slides is from the pictures in the Great China Forum in China. So we organized a forum, and the forum have a lot of content. But firstly, we discuss about Social Business Day 2025 theme, the House for the Social Business Way for House for All. And we invited the social business entrepreneurs in China who are working on healthcare. So they share about their different models, very interesting stories. And then Renmin University of China launched a new book on social business and social entrepreneurship, which is recommended by Professor Yunus. And also we discussed about the ecosystem building for social business in China. So this is, I think, the first social business event in China. We talk about healthcare for all. So some key takeaways, because in China we have, like in Bangladesh, we have a big population, but we need more doctors. So probably we have more nurses, but we don't have enough doctors, especially in rural area. And some entrepreneurs in China share about some solutions that now they are using AI. They are using the AI as a tool. It's like a Shuki here, but I mean, they develop many different models based on all these, different AI things. So they power the doctor. So any doctor, any young doctor, they can use these tools to improve the efficiency. So I think this is something we can incorporate in the future. Number 2 is that in China, they have a massive production capacity on different medical, small and medium size, or even big, the medical equipment. And they are trying to reduce this price, low price. So many equipment is just half price, but they want to improve quality. This is some other areas I think social business can work on, and they can work with others. So we want to keep the same quality but cheaper price, and to create healthcare for all. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you to everyone who's there. This literally feels like the United Nations, by the way. The fact that the movement has gone on for so long, we've had all of you put in incredible amount of time and effort. You've got our sincerest gratitude. We cannot leave you without capturing this moment as we have with other sessions. But now I would like to invite, if she's around, Zinat Islam from Yunus Center and Mohammad Ashraful Aslam to please come on stage, because I believe this is a very special session. This embodies the outreach of social business and microfinance globally, and I believe we must have representation to do a photo opportunity. Could I please request the two of you on stage and all the participants to come forward for a photo opportunity? Thank you. And can we have a huge round of applause, the sheer effort that has gone in organizing this over the last month. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I believe we're almost with about 14 representations here has probably been fairly challenging, but I appreciate everyone's patience. We do break for prayer, lunch, and marketplace visits now. Just letting everyone know how the proceedings will go is lunch will be served at 1:15. So please use your time between now and 1:15 to get done with your prayer breaks, visit the marketplace. We expect everyone back here by 1:50 p.m., please. We've got quite a few going. I know that there is only small time left. We've got multiple sessions coming up. If we can please start coming back by 1:50 for a 2 o'clock start, that would be incredibly helpful. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your cooperation on this. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, just letting everyone know lunch is ready. If you wanted to head straight into the dining hall at the back, you're most welcome to do so. Lunch has been served, so please straight head in to the dining hall. And for those who want photo opportunities on the stage, I know there were a few from the Chittagong Social Business Center who wanted to take photos. This is your opportunity. Come on stage and take a few photos if you wanted to. Again, reminding everyone, lunch has been served. If you wanted to make it to the lunchroom and the dining area, we expect everyone to please be back here by 1:50 p.m. Thank you.
তোমার একা নিয়ে তো দুটো স্লাইড ভাই এইখানে রাখি এখানে এমনি জায়গা নেই বন্ধ করো এটা বন্ধ করতে হবে না এটা সাত থেকে